Can the South and Nuri players please make it towards the front of the stage here so we can get on with the presentation? Just if the teams can make their way a bit closer. South, keep coming. Another 10 metres forward. And if the South Gawler team members just come forward to the stage, please. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. What a ripper of a contest. Hard fought all day. Leads changing multiple times. Well done to both teams. What a great season you both had. The first award will be the Jack Lasky medal for the best on ground. I'd like to ask Jack to come forward. And the recipient of the award is number 36 for South Gawler, Hudson Hill. Well done to Hudson, what a great game. I'd now ask the South Gawler team manager to come forward and read out their medal winners for today. And number 1, Josh Pearson. And number 3, Brock Smith. Number 10, Jacob Jimmy ahead.
How is it?
Number 13, Dylan Schwer. Number 21, Clayton Conlon. Number 26, David Aldred. And 31, Marco Yandel. 32, Tommy Clement. 34, Connor Wilsford. 36, Connor Wills. 37, Brayden Susie Lehman. Number 40, Ben Washington. Number 43, Christopher Pugalese. 44, Brayden the Chef Cook. 45, Lockman Hewitt. 46, Noah Still. 52, Sammy Reed. 53, Benny Gawler. 55, the match winner, Callum Bluey Hall. And 27, Joey Arnold. Then the captain, number 30, Callum Felke. And finally the playing coach, number 28, Alex Hansen. I'd just like to ask Alex to say a few words after today's effort.
Thanks, mate. Firstly to Nat and the boys over here. As I said to you, we're obviously in your shoes last year, so I don't know how it feels. I'm sure you guys will come back next year and compete again. So, good stuff, boys.
To our lads,
Yeah, not just the 21 here, but the 34, 35 blokes we had throughout the whole year. We certainly couldn't be in this spot as an NRL squad. So, fantastic, boys. Off the West. Bloody awesome.
I'd just like to ask Alex to stay up here and the captain, Callum Felke, to come forward and we'll present the Leader Cup to you guys and the flag. We'll present the cup here now to their co-captains and their coach.
Welcome to today's live stream broadcast of the 2022 Barossa Light and Gawler Grand Final, coming to you from the Angaston Oval. Joining me in commentary today, I've got Craig Dorr. Craig, how are you?
Good afternoon, Teagues. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
I'm well. Looking forward to this contest, buddy.
Looking forward to a really tough fight. Games earlier today have been scrappy, but they've been good contests, with Williston getting up in an upset in the under-15s by a few points, and in the under-17s, it was a really interesting game. Williston getting up against Barossa. Barossa kicked the first 5 points of the game early in the first quarter, but ended up only kicking 6 points for the day.
And then we just witnessed the reserves where South Gawler won 1 goal 9 to Nuriootpa 1 goal 2, so 7 points, and they only kicked their first goal with probably about 3 or 4 minutes to go. So it was tough conditions at Angaston. They've had a bit of rain, 20 to 30, 40 mils they say, in some patches across the half-forward line, centre half forward, centre half. Went for a walk, Teagues. Got the boots on, mate,
You're
and
very
went out
brave.
for a talk. So, yeah, I'm looking for a really tough contest, especially early. Nuri will expect to probably bottle it up, stop the run and the spread from South Gawler, and they'll try to get some repeat ball ups, which will be a key stat on to see how many key repeat ball ups there will be. But yeah, interesting contest. And there's been one late change, obviously. Brock Judd Smith played in the Rezzies, and I can see big Brodie Hudson in for the A grade here, mate. So
that's an interesting move in conditions like these to bring in another tall. Perhaps they are worried about the ruck contest. Furnell's been very good for Nuri this year, and being backed up by Bart Ryan, they are a pretty formidable duo. Perhaps they thought they just needed that little bit extra.
Yeah, absolutely. Given the conditions, yeah, I quite understand that. They'll probably rotate, obviously. Young Arnold and Chrissy James will go through there. So whether they can afford to have 2 out of those 3 in their forward half, or they go ruck, forward, and then rotate off the bench.
They've been doing a lot off the bench this year, and Hudson's the one who will play forward. James may go down there for a spell, but not for extended periods.
Yeah, good call, good call. And then obviously since the second semi, Gregurki comes in for Nuriootpa, very important inclusion, and then their captain or their playing coach Kyle Jenner comes in, and he'll be sitting across half-back, setting them up. So 2 big ins for Nuriootpa, and then you got the in for Hudson for South Gawler. So some quality coming in. Should be an interesting game of football. Some
quality players on the field, and while there is a bit of mud on the ground, there's still good areas underfoot. The wings look really good, and I'm expecting to see a lot of play down both wings today. Yeah, as I said just a couple of minutes ago, Teagues, down the corridor, it's very, very, very heavy. It'll be a heavy 10 in racetrack conditions, and probably on the outer is a slow, soft 6. So, yeah, given the fact that the corridor probably may be a no-go for most of these sides today. One is keeping your feet in there, but also a turnover in that section where you have to change direction in slippery conditions. You've got to hit the target inside that. If you go into the high-risk, high-reward area, you don't disgrudge it, but it's got to be spot on today, especially in these conditions today, Teagues. Yes, both these teams are very good by foot, good decision makers. I expect to see South really methodically pick their way through the Nuri defence today. In your opinion, Teagues, you've seen a lot of both sides, and all reports with Nuriootpa is, you know, they do like the bottle up contested footy. As I said, repeat ball up, so they'll go 3 or 4 in a row to force ball ups, and then they go. Would that be correct? And South are more offensive, spread running side. I would say that's very correct. Nuri do like the repeat ball ups. They've got a clearance beast in Scott Bentley. The way he moves through the stoppage is beautiful. South will have to check his run at times. Yeah. So I've just sort of highlighted, obviously, from their form, doing my homework with the visuals that we kindly, obviously, what we do every week here. But, you know, Dean Cutting, 69 goals for the year for a 36-year-old. Absolutely outstanding. He'd be a key. Down back, Tommy Giles, our intercept marker. Mitch Norton, Madden. And then you got the likes in the midfield. You got Whitwer, Burton, Press, versus Hopner, Scotty Bentley, Hinkie. And then obviously the predominant forward for Nuriootpa is James Bentley. Incidentally, he's only kicked 1 goal in the last 2 games each, 1 goal in each game against South Gawler. So South Gawler have held him very well, and that could be the key today. But with Gregurki back, gives them another option up forward. Gregurki gives them a lot of run on the outside, flexibility. He's got the size to be able to take a mark up forward, and he's just unpredictable. He's a wild card for me. But Bentley, you mentioned, James, that is, he kicked 55 goals last season, 34 this year. It's a big drop-off. Yeah. Most sides have probably put a bit more homework into him now, knowing him in the competition too, Teague. So he's probably getting a good defender, but they probably isolate or
identify that he's the major go-to, so they drop off him and make it a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, and take those interceptor marks.
The key for me is that Nuri don't have a secondary goal kicker. Mitch Dakey is their next best goal kicker with 16 goals, and other than that, it's all single figures.
Yeah,
whereas for Barossa, you've got Nathan Barch has kicked 33 goals. You've got a bunch of players like Whitwer and Press kicking the 20-goal range. That's, I believe, the difference between the two teams.
Players going through the national anthem. It's a chilling little factor when you're standing there in the national anthem grand final day, knowing that you're a toss of the coin away and then you're into it. So very nervous moments for players, coaches, putting all their efforts in, going probably from October, November. You don't get much of a rest these days as a senior coach. So all their time and effort and planning, it all comes down to the next 2 hours, Teagues.
And at this point, there's nothing else you can do. You've done everything. You've just got to hope that the players go out there and execute the way that you've instructed them to, and basically back in the plan that they've believed in all year.
Yeah, correct. I mean, there's nothing more that you can possibly do as a coach. You know, you tick your box, make sure that you give them the process, the structure, make sure you tick your box as a coach, send it out to the players. Don't give them too much grand final day, because realistically they're more worried about playing the game than putting too much information on the whiteboard. So it's pretty critical. I'm sure Chappie's the same, and I'm sure Cole's the same, coming from their backgrounds. 3 or 4 dot points that they want to achieve, especially in the first quarter. Reassess at quarter time and then go again, Teagues.
These conditions may have changed their planning from a week or two ago. That first contest, it's going to be a real key. Both coaches are going to want a win at that first ball up.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be ground today with the wind sort of going right to left here and the conditions. So whoever dominantly spends most of the time in their forward half will win the game of footy. I mean, that's a classic cliche, of course, but it's quite truthful.
Yes, cliche is definitely something I like to stay away from.
I try not to bore you with them today, mate.
Too late. But yes, reasonable crowd on hand considering the weather. We are set for a really good contest. South looking to go back-to-back. Nuri looking to break through. The last few years they've been around the mark. Last year they just missed out on the grand final. They think it's their time, but South not willing to give it up that easily. Spent a bit of time with Paddy White yesterday, and he's quietly confident would be how I'd describe him.
He's always a very confident man, is Paddy White. He doesn't lack that's for sure.
No, he's very mature, very well balanced.
I wouldn't be mentioning the same words as that. I know Paddy myself, but that's okay. He'd probably know that. So, which is all good. But he's a very vital key back there in defence for the South Gawler, just with his experience. And we can see Brodie Hudson coming to the Pine now with young Jacob Smitke, and it looks to be Goulding coming with him. So it's Goulding, Smitke and Hudson in the interchange for South Gawler, and then on the interchange for Nuriootpa, I just saw Bart Ryan, which is probably tip 2. So having a look into the matchups here, obviously Bentley Smith looks like he might have the job, or it could be Darcy Judd-Smith.
Dudley.
Yep.
He's been called Dudley the last few weeks.
Oh, Dudley.
That's his new moniker.
And then Dear Love to Bain. So there's key matchups there. Paddy White onto Laverty. And up the other end, obviously James is going to the goal square.
White on Laverty. I like that matchup for both teams. And
Mitch Norton on Cutting. So the ball goes up here for the first bounce of the 2022 grand final. Spill can't be win. In goes the medalist Burton. Burton puts it forward through to Filkey. Filkey now gathers. Slippery ball even at this early stage as he falls over the footy. Pisani kicks around the corner looking for Cutting. Cutting can kick the first goal. Here's number 2, which is Matthews. Matthews can't gather it. He gets tackled. Dean Cutting has a snap. Can he kick the first goal? No, he doesn't. Goes to the
just
left.
offline.
Free kick. Teagues. No. Just Ryan Prentice calling the shots and getting out the zone.
Yeah, umpires have got to set the tone early. Today we've got gun umpires Ryan Prentice, Hudson Noack and Randall Murch.
Randall Murch, first A-grade game, first grand final for Randall. Congratulations to him. He'll do a fine job.
The man of the Falcon fame.
So still in dispute there. South just rush it forward. Nuri up to grab hold of it. That's Gregurki. Gregurki can't grab it. He gives off to Hammer. Here's some run from half back. He punts it long, and South Gawler are set up right
Paddy
behind
White
the footy.
read the play, drifted off his man, decided that it's his time to take the game on. He chips sideways now. He's found a player.
Zobel. Doesn't James. James has got to pick the ball. Ball stays in, gives the handball.
James did well for a big dinosaur. And we'll have a ball up almost on centre wing.
So Arnold now pumps it up forward. Can't grab the mark. Dean Cutting wraps up his opponent. Can't take it. He falls over on the ground. Giles on his knees. Gives the handball out. You've got to get rid of it. Oh, this could be close to holding ball. No. Gives the handball out the press. Press now. Picks the ball up on the inside the forward 50 for South Gawler. Gives the handball. Tries to turn. Probably can't do in these conditions. Very slippery conditions. Disputed the ball, and the ball will go out of bounds, and there'll be a throw in the half-forward flank. Teagues.
Probably a wasted opportunity from the Lions there. I think they could have done a little bit more with that. Press looked to do a little bit too much by hand. We can't afford to do that today.
Now keep it simple. Do the basics right. So another ball up there. Press now very good from a stoppage. Kicks the ball left foot. Swinging, and it's goal.
Oh, first goal of the game. Captain's goal. That's an important goal. Probably against the tide almost. South had a lot of the play, but the ball outside their 50 and just probably a surprising goal. But that's the thing, South will get goals from a manner of different areas and different methods.
We can just see the first up there, Teagues, that obviously South Gawler let the Nuri opponents come up to the contest. 4v1 back here. They jacked the ball forward and Paddy White took it. So beautiful tap. Arnold to Whitwer. Great smother by the big man, Fennell. Fennell now. Here's Wilford. Wilford now. He comes, can't get his foot to the ball. The ball can't be picked up. In goes Bailey Filkey. Filkey tries to
Rosenzweig fighting for the footy. He's probably my X factor for Nuri today, Rosenzweig.
Ball goes forward there. There's probably a grab of the Guernsey there. Hanging on. Good call by Hudson Noack.
Free kick going the way of Jack Henke. And a 25-metre penalty. Player put down.
Off the footy.
That's the Nuri captain, Scott Bentley, looking very sore after that. Henke's backing himself here. Confidence is not something the kid lacks. Coming in.
Good kick off the boot.
Just hit the post. That would have been the perfect answer for Nuri. Henke's coming off a really good season and good fortnight for him personally, just winning one of the Apprentice of the Year awards for the Master Builders Association.
So Press kicks out. He's got the kick-out duties for South Gawler after kicking the first goal for the game. Kicks it just a little bit of a wobbler, and Nuri up to take the mark. He goes, Gregurki goes out looking for Bentley, and the spoil there. Schmidt comes over the top, and Bentley just saying, give it a bit more air, please, so I can jump at it. Not so much flatness. So the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in deep in the forward pocket for Nuriootpa. So it's Nuriootpa 1 point, South Gawler 1-1-7. Ball goes up. Ball in dispute again. Here comes Press now with the left foot, kicks it up to high out of the half back, too far, and the wind blows it out and bounds on the full, and young Tommy Giles will bring the footy in for Nuriootpa, Teagues.
Here he goes. He's going with a deep entry. Well defended by the Lions. Just touched over the boundary. So we'll have a ball up almost right next to the point post. We're in Nuri's forward line. The Tigers hunting a goal.
Schmau wrapped up by his opponent there. Great tackle.
It's beautiful work. And we saw Paddy White drifting through that stoppage, looking to get very dangerous in defence. Good wrap-up tackle there, so we'll force another ball up, probably about 20 metres in front of the Nuri goal.
As the wind blows down. A bit of a struggle there. As the wind picks up. We nearly lost everything. Ryan Prentice. Whoop, hang on, there's a free kick there. Ryan Prentice has found a free kick. Who would be on the bottom of that? Paddy White.
Paddy White, yeah, just making sure that no one else gets that last touch of the footy.
Aggravated, obviously, James Bentley. Paddy White, the instigator of all that, gets a free kick. Obviously, the retaliator gets caught. Or Dear Love goes straight at Paddy White.
Put him down, so that should be a free kick down the field.
As the play keeps going, you watch that, Teagues. A little bit of niggle behind the footy there. Burton can't quite get his foot, and Hopner.
It's interesting, talking with White yesterday, he said the one instruction he had this year was not to give away a yellow card in the first 5 minutes of the game like last year.
Did he? So Bentley now wrapped up by Bennison. Bennison now a great tackle. That's 2 tackles deep inside. Nuri's forward now on the footy as well. Didn't allow Scott Bentley to release the footy. So Fennell and Arnold, as they do all day, put their arm through. Bentley kicks it off the ground. Here's Henke now hanging onto the Guernsey. Should have been a free kick. It could even be high there. He picked up the second one there. But it's Henke now.
Getting busy. He'll be very confident playing on this ground. Plays cricket here with the mighty Angaston A1s.
Good mark.
That's a beautiful pass. Finds the open Terence Wilfred. Probably marked it 45 metres from goal, so he will have to kick this from outside the 50. There's a booming left foot kick.
First mark inside 50 for both sides. Early, it's not going to be a game for marks inside 50, but they probably could be crucial for today, Teagues. Finding those conditions. Oh, good call early, Teagues. Lovely call early.
But any mark inside the forward 50 will be precious today. That looks really good off the boot. He's turned his back on it though, just offline. Distance was beautiful, just didn't ever quite look like it was coming back.
You're right, beautiful kick, Teagues. He did get hold of it, it was nice. As they just wait for the ball to be returned.
He's quickly become one of my favourite players, Terence Wilfred. With a name like that, you would expect him to be able to talk about himself in the third person.
So press now. Probably look for one-on-one. Shepherd off the footy, good. Gains territory, kicks long. Look at it, hold up there, kicks long. Scrumble there, Fennell couldn't take it. South Gawler pressurised kick. Now Mitch Norton, he's a booming left foot. He'll just launch it.
He just sends the ball back
Bentley
with fury.
now being pressed. He goes over the back and rolls on and kicks a goal.
That is beautiful. Very good play. Mitch Norton, that's very clever. Backed himself to deliver the ball deep into the forward line. Chaos ball is going to be key today. Just get the ball in and let stuff happen.
Well, it's just interesting, down in that goal square where he just kicked the goal, normally the ball stops and had momentum to get through that mud, because in all the other games today, the ball was actually stopping in the goal square in its track. So,
and probably smart from his teammates not lay a hand on the ball, to let it go over the back and attempt to chase it down.
Yeah, absolutely. Just see early matchups here, Teagues. I see that Bennison may have the run with role with James Bentley. So everyone else has changed their midfield rotations. Bentley stayed in there, and so is Bennison. So I reckon he's got the run with role today.
That's not a bad idea. Bentley is the prime mover for the Tigers. Everything starts with him.
There's a little bit of rain starts to fall here. A little bit of wind, rain. Great tap there by Hudson. Finds Jackson Dare. Jackson Dare now fires the footy through to Dean Cutting. Can't quite take the mark.
Well spoiled.
Good little spoil by Mitch Robertson here. Rain's coming a little bit heavier and making it a little bit interesting.
Doing the hard work.
So it's Golding now. He sends South Gawler inside 50 here. Good punch away there. High on Henke. It must be a free kick. Chris James is throwing his weight around there, and he's giving a free kick away to Henke.
He's been known to do that in grand finals. Likes to set the tone early with a bit of physical play.
So it's Henke now. A lot of the Nuriootpa small half forwards get right up the ground and try to block it. Not the best of kicks, but in these conditions, and it's Bailey Zobel. A lot of that. Bailey Zobel's got the footy on the centre wing here. He just pumps it down the line, looking for Simpson, but in comes Barch now. Very important player for South Gawler. He goes inside 50. He's looking for the big fella in James. He can't take the mark. There's a good tackle by Hopner, and it's holding the ball. It's correct decision there made by Hudson Nowick. And a defensive tackle results in a hole in the ball, and now Nuriot to release the pressure, and they go deep into the wing Teagues.
Hepner with that massive kick of his. Really, he is a weapon from out of defence for the Tigers. He quarterbacks most of their play. He reads the game so well and just sets everything up.
Did I see, Teagues, that he won the medal? Because he's a fly-in, fly-out. He won the medal where he was playing? Up at Woomera or somewhere?
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, I might have to get someone onto that. Anyone can Facebook message me. I'll be more than wrapped. But I did see a little post there that he did win the medal because he's a fly-in, fly-out. So I may be wrong, Teagues. Sometimes I am.
Yes, I've spoken to your wife.
And Pisani now, the little live wire, gave the footy out to his teammate who is Smitke, who's on the ground for his first run for the game, and we're sort of 10 minutes into the quarter here, and it's we can see the pattern already, Teagues.
Yes. Almost 13 minutes into the first quarter on the Ray White Craig Moore time clock.
Absolutely. So Bassani now trying to get another tackle, another ball up. Throw their space in, there'd be no other option for Randall Murch but to ball it up, and right in front of the West End can van, and there's a footy club enjoying their footy trip, I reckon, across the road there, and you can see them on screen there enjoying the day.
They're having a good day. They don't care about the weather.
So another ball up, Teagues.
We're going to see a lot of that today.
Yeah.
But that's going to be really crucial as to which team uses these stoppages better and can manufacture something from the clearance.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's 6 repeat ball ups already. So the ball goes through. Reisenwood kicks it long. Bentley, the ball goes out of bound, and last possession. So Bentley has to stand the mark 8 metres out, and his direct opponent would be Darcy Judd-Smith. Will bring that in for South Gawler. So very good. So Darcy
Dudley kicking long.
We're just going to see this all day, aren't we, Teagues?
Heavy tackling. Days like today, these conditions and the physical intensity make me happy I'm sitting this side of the fence.
Henke, very good hands. That's very good composure. Bentley now tries to mark it. Good by Darcy Judd-Smith. Gets his hand to the footy and forces the ball up deep into Nuri.
Henke's improvement this year has been phenomenal. He's improved a lot from last year to round 1 this year, but his improvement from round 1 has been marked by massive gains on a weekly basis. Had a great zone championships and then spent some time down at Central Districts as a result, and has come back an even better footballer again. Good tackle from Press.
Just always to advantage, Press there. Not
Taking
so much clean footy.
Giles.
Just watching the stoppage here. Obviously, yep, Bentley gets his kick, thrown. Held on to him too long. I think James Bentley, just looking at him here, holding his ribs, Might be
Yes,
doing something with the
he's
first
looking
incident
quite sore.
with that 25. So he goes long looking for his brother in James. He can't quite take them out. Well rode, front and
Henke
square.
beautifully
Henke
crumbed.
in the last line.
Goalkeeper in the square, but well picked up from Henke there. That could easily have been a goal for the Tigers.
Yep, so Burt, now the medalist, goes out to Smith. Smith now kicks it long out to the outer side wing, looking for Chris James. Great use of the body, Chris James. Can't quite take the mark. There's a little bit of a scrimmage, as it's going to be all day. He's hands and knees, can't release the footy. And Hudson Nowick says, I'll have the footy, thanks, and then throws it up for the umpteenth time in this first quarter of the 2022 Grand Final.
Good tap there for the Lions. James doing the roving.
So the ball goes inside. Good tackle by James Bentley. That's defensive pressure. That's good tackling. If you're not getting the footy yourself, it's important to have those forward entry inside 50 tackles. And
He's a
they've been
midfielder converted to a forward, so he does have that defensive side to his game.
Absolutely. So high and a free kick. And 25.
And that makes a possible goal, a certain goal.
Yeah, we won't write it just down, but Josh Whitwer, they're giving 25 away.
One of the co-captains at Lions, the coach will not be happy with that.
Signing on for next year again. And Billy Nichols.
The old-timer, the veteran for
Yeah,
the Tigers.
he would love these conditions, old Billy, wouldn't
He will revel in these conditions. Tackle after tackle, he'll feed on that. That's another goal for Ray White, Craig Moore, your premiership team for real estate in the northern suburbs. But Joey Cirillo will sell you a house anywhere. He's in a good mood today. If you get a chance, talk to him soon, because his beloved Williston won both the under 15s and 7.
And he'd be the premiership coach too, Teagues. Obviously coaches the under 15s as Joey, and he would have loved it. After speaking to him after the second semi, he said, I've got one more win to get, and then he'll be sensational. So it's really good. So Nuriootpa 2-3-15 to South Gawler 1-1-7. So 8-point lead to Nuriootpa here. So Hudson Nowick throws the ball up. Fennell versus Arnold. So Bart Ryan goes,
Arnold with a high leap, got the tap, but we'll see a repeat ball up here straight away. Not able to clear the area with the tap.
Arnold
with
again.
a double tap.
Still a scramble there, trying to get the slippery ball. Be like a cake of soap at the moment. Just looking
Sam
up.
Schmal doing a lot of heavy work in the middle at the moment for the Tigers.
Bart Ryan, now the kick comes out from Whitwer. That won't be 10, that'll be play on. Tackled by Bassani is Rosen Swag. And he's been brought to ground, and then umpires have no choice but to ball the footy up, and away we go again. Repeat.
Good ruck work from Ryan.
Another
Even
stalemate.
Paddy White's in the middle at the moment, just trying to stem the momentum.
Yeah, he might have come forced up with Laverty. Laverty's pushed up to the contest. That leaves no other option but for Paddy White to join in the action.
Going Laverty's way.
So, James Bentley just didn't quite grab it. Dear love now, he just dropped that footy. In goes James Bentley. He can't gather. But James Bentley, he's just had his hands on the footy once or twice. Just hasn't been able to complete the mark, Teagues.
Only a fraction off being just what he needs to be.
Absolutely, and that's making the most of the opportunities. Most of the opportunities that involved in that. So most of the opportunities in that.
And we see a yellow card being shown.
Chris James. Yellow card
Chris James, earlier yellow
and
card.
Free kick.
We saw this a couple of years ago over at Freeling. These two teams playing. No, sorry, it was Gawler Central successful that day. James lost the plot, and in the space of 5 minutes cost his team a lot of momentum. That's stupid early from a senior player.
There's no use arguing with it. So James Bentley now.
Umpire Merch taking control. It's good to see from a first-time grand final umpire.
And James Bentley kicks another goal. So 2 goals from infringements. A 25 from Whitwer, and then Chris James.
Yes. And suddenly you've got a player in Bentley who has been just off, gets a gimme goal to build his confidence.
Absolutely. Obviously rotating forward now. So Bart Ryan, Arnold, you know, you've got Jackson Dare, Burton, the medalist press, Lavendy, Billy Nichols has gone in there now, Hopnam. So now you're up to 3-3 to South Gawler 1-1. Interesting time of the season of the first
and
quarter
that free
here.
kick going Nuri's way. Interesting call. Ryan with the kick.
Kicks it long inside 50. Paddy White sets himself. Gregurki can't take the mark. Slippery ball. Schmidt tries to take it. He is tackled by Watt, and the ball is being forced out. No, free kick given. Schmidt was held on to. So once again, Nuriootpa go South Gawler exit the forward 50 of Nuri, and the ball's been punched out of bounds, and there'll be another throw in on the outer side wing there, Teagues.
And the ball looks like it might camp out there for a little bit.
Yeah, not much action's our side, Teagues. It's all been on the outer side there,
Wind
mate.
is pushing the ball across. Now with the rain, players aren't going to be looking to switch.
Oh, that was clever play, I think.
That's
You
beautiful
just can't
play
allow
for the
that.
Tigers.
Over the back. Bentley now can't take quite the mark, and the ball gets out of bounds, and another throw in.
We're seeing all the momentum Nuri's way. They just seem to be propelling the ball forward again and again.
Yeah, just doing the basics right at the moment, aren't they, Teagues?
How are these
Just
forward entries looking at the moment?
forward entries is 13-5.
Yeah, it's a massive difference in these conditions.
Absolutely. Given the fact the ball goes over the back, so Burton kicks the ball forward. Jenner can't quite take the mark. Dean Cutting cops one a little bit high. Free kick.
But
He
no
settles
one forward.
composure. Someone's
Gotta
composure.
wait.
Goes the other side. Goes to the outer side wing where there's a vortex, and that's unlike Dean Cutting to me. Out of bounds on the full.
It's under pressure because he got the ball turned around wanting to move it quickly, and there was no one ahead of him. South have got to try and maintain some semblance of structure.
Goes
As we
deep.
see Chris James coming back onto the ground now, he's going to have to do something to earn back what he gave away.
Brody Hudson, mate.
Sorry, Brody Hudson coming on.
They run similar. Old Chrissy James will be spending 10 minutes on the pine there.
He'll still have a few to go.
Over the back, good mark. In Fallon. Fallon now. Left footer, goes inside 50.
That's low.
Probably a little bit too cute. Bradley Bain can't quite take the mark. He's wrapped up by Gagurki, and the ball spills.
Strong tackle from Gregurki. He's been a good addition for the Tigers this year. Bain, apparently yesterday, was talking himself up a little bit. Going to have a really big game.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see there. So ball, another stoppage. Nuriootpa doing really well. The contested ball. Well, he's held on to Gregurki when he didn't have the footy. Bradley Bain had latched onto him, and he probably didn't have the footy, and the ball spills out deep inside the forward pocket for Nuriootpa.
The boundary throw-in comes now. It's a good throw-in from the boundary umpire. Good depth.
Oh, Nichols nearly. Oh, I was going to say they probably have to redo that. So obviously Randall Murchie's first A-grade game. His young lad Noah plays in the under-13s at South Gawler, and Elijah, who plays in the under-15s, won their best and fairest for South Gawler. So a little bit nervous. Obviously he's got connections there, but he's a very good umpire, and I think the three best umpires are umpiring today, Teagues.
Yes, I think it's well deserved. They've got it right.
All off the ground.
Wow. This is turned from a trickle to a flood for the Tigers. They're really starting to put some hurt on South Gawler now. It's another goal for Ray White Craigmore, your premiership team for real estate in the northern suburbs. And we have almost played 24 minutes in the first quarter of the 2022 grand final.
Yeah, it's a scoreline reads 4-3-27 to South Gawler 1-1, and just that big heavy shower of rain, and all of a sudden Nuriootpa has actually adapted a lot quicker to what South Gawler's done, I feel, Teagues.
Yes. Hudson gets that tap. No one for South to take advantage of it.
Good tackle, action right in front of us here, Teagues.
Very, very good tackle, very safe tackle.
So Bart Ryan versus Hudson, most experienced ruckman. Good handle. Bennison now gets the clearance. Great smother. Scott Bentley. Oh, in comes Paddy White. Paddy White punch, and I reckon there'll be another yellow tackle. Paddy White. So Randall Murch, very lucky there. Schmal goes inside 50, looking for the mark. The ball spills free. There's another contest here. Passani's in the lead here. Gregurki, good gather in these conditions. Good tackle, Gurney.
That is a beautiful
Gurney now
tackle.
and a push in the back.
I'm not sure I saw that.
And Nuriootpa, another free kick. But once again, they're getting first to the footy, Teagues.
They are. They are really putting a lot of pressure on the South defence and forcing errors.
But they're just doing the basics right, Teagues. That's what has been so impressive the last 10 minutes, as their pressure around the contest has been huge.
And we are almost at quarter time. We are nearly 26 minutes into the first
So
quarter.
Laverty now lines up to kick his first goal. And thanks for coming.
In
straight
these
through the high
conditions,
little
that
diddle.
is becoming a very monumental lead. They were behind in the grand final last year. Different situation, perfect weather, and it's easy to come back in those conditions. You can play clean footy. Today it's going to be real hard to climb this mountain.
Yeah, we never say never, Teague, especially after what we witnessed last year. But it's chalk and cheese to what it was last year, I must admit. And I don't think Nuri, being the contested Bulls that they are, going to allow a lead like this. But anyway, we'll see what happens in the next hour and a half. But once again, South Gawler get the footy. Rosenwald kicks it out to the wing here in pursuit of Whitford. Whitford can't take the mark. Good tackle, though. That's holding the ball. And Bailey's Oval just dropped the footy. And a free kick to Nuri. Nuri, very impressive so far, Teagues.
That's Terence Wilfred. Really impressive attack on the player with the ball there. He's now with the left foot, drives it forward. The wind gets hold of that, pushes it
over the
on.
back, over the back. Can't let that go over the back. He did well, Smith. Did very well. Darcy Judd-Smith can't quite take. Paddy was very clean with the footy. Well done, Paddy. Very clean. Tries the handball to Barch, and I knew where he was going in the first place. He was going to... No score. No score, Hudson. No score. Push in the back. And Paddy White will take the ball after a free kick was paid in the back. So it's Paddy White now. Tries to exit their defensive 50. Can't. Right on the verge there. Dear Love can't get it. He's wrapped up by Bradley Bain. And there'll be another throw up.
You've got a lot of numbers across their half forward line at the moment. No one forward of centre for South Gawler or Nuri in that half of the field.
Rosenberg, he's been good early, Teagues, your little mate. Here goes James Bentley. James Bentley can't quite take the mark. There's Billy Nichols. Hands off over to Fallon. Fallon now clipped. That's going to stop in the mud. Kick off the ground by Smith. And a point will be registered.
Just Nuri knocking on that door.
5-4. Now 34 to 1-1 South Gawler. Now they're trying to exit through Zobel. Zobel kicks the ball only to the veil of Rosenwald, and he takes the mark. So he kicks it long to the square. Dropped by Judd Smith. Judd Smith can't quite gather. The ball's in a little bit of a stoppage there.
There's the siren,
and all of a sudden it's the siren.
So Nuri 5-goal 4. 34, leading South Gawler 1-1-7. This is a real turn up. A real surprise. Not many of us were expecting this, Craig.
No, Teagues, definitely not this scoreline, given the fact that 5-4 to 1-1. Just a couple of key stats for you, Teagues, as we always do in this coverage, is that out of the centre square, South Gawler are leading that 5-2, getting their hands on the footy first, but their clearances for around the ground, it's 8-4 in favour of Nuriootpa. There's only been one mark inside 50, and that has been for Nuri. And tackles inside 50, 2 to South, 8 for Nuriootpa, so their pressure rate is high. And the biggest one for me, Teagues, is inside 50, 18 to Nuriootpa, 5 for South Gawler.
Ouch. Gavin Chaplin will not be happy. What will be his message to the troops at quarter time?
I think at this point of time, the message is just a recap, sit back. When I say sit back, yes, they're throwing everything at us now. We've sort of got to get momentum back. We've got to get our hands on the footy. They've been a little bit hungry around the footy. I reckon they're doing the basics right. I think they've got the kick and handball ratio down pat. They're not trying to over handball, which I think South will try and do in these conditions. And as soon as the rain come, they were a lot better.
I think the one word that will be used is composure.
Yeah,
South need to show some composure. That's what they've been good at for the last 2 years, and they haven't shown a lot of it today.
so at the moment that you can just go through their lines as most clubs at this level do now. They got their line coaches that go out and speak to their forwards, mids, and defensive, and then obviously Chappie and Kyle will come in and give the final word. But most line coaches now have a instruction and what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, what they need to improve on. One thing we need to get is, I think South Gawler's just got to be a lot more solid around the footy.
Very much so. They've got to be very strong, not let the ball get out unless it's on their terms. That's what Nuri are doing, and that's what Nuri excel at. They let the ball get out only if it advantages them.
So the goal kickers for Nuriootpa Teagues is Laverty with 1, James Bentley with 1, Scott Bentley with 1, William Nichols with 1, and Mitch Norton with that big bomb 1, and Jackson Press, which scored the first goal for South Gawler back in the first 2 or 3 minutes. So it's been a bit of a dry spell for South Gawler.
And is it 3 of those Nuri goals came from free kicks?
25s and free
given
kicks.
away.
Yep.
And that's something that South's coaching group will know that they can stamp out, and they will be demanding that from their experienced players who made mistakes.
And probably discipline as well. I think that might be a strong message coming from Chappie. It's all right to throw yourself around, but you've got to do it well, and do it disciplined, and so probably intriguing the response that we're going to get from South from here, knowing that the margin was last year 57 points and they got back to win, but definitely certain different circumstances. As the young fellas walking past here, Teagues, barefoot, jacket, loving the little puddles.
He is having the time of his life. Oh, I wish I was that age again and just fascinated by mud.
Oh, fantastic.
I think he'll be fine until his mum catches up with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a look at him go. Fantastic. I can jump puddles. There he goes.
You don't have to jump puddles when you can just walk through them.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-oh, Mum's trying to get him.
Now there's a problem.
Now there's a problem.
And he's on the field now. We've got a pitch invader.
Yeah. Just looking for some structural changes here. Pretty much status quo. Laverty's gone back. He started forward. He was on white. Jenna's still there. Mitch is still there. South Gawler. Yep. Pretty much the same.
I don't think South need to go away from what they've done well all season. They're just not quite winning the stoppage at the moment and not taking advantage of the ball when they do get it.
Yeah, I think so. I think once again, it comes down to the adaptation of the conditions. I feel like there's a huge ratio, 18-5. Like,
it is, and you can't blame their forward structure for that.
No, definitely not. No, they're just winning the contested footy at the coalface. Teagues.
As we see the Nuri players spoil that ball in numbers.
And probably just given the recent history, I mean, obviously with Nuriootpa do not like to leak scores, even though South Gawler kicked 19 goals in the second semi and a fantastic game of footy. But this is the thing they're looking for, is the repeat stoppages. And we had 14 repeat stoppages, more than 2 ball-ups in a row last quarter. So they're playing in their terms at the moment, Teagues, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Yes, definitely. Nuri hold all the advantages at the moment.
And you probably just think that at this point of time, Kyle Jenner might be just saying, let's take the time off, take the clock off when we've got the footy, have momentum, let's be calculated. The less time they've got the footy, the less time they've got time to score. And they can score very quickly, South Gawler.
That's right. That's what Nuri will want to stop, is South getting that momentum where they feel they've got 4 goals coming.
Absolutely. So the
That's
ball goes
well
out there.
defended there.
Good
And free
tackle.
kick going South's way.
Holding the ball, Schmidt. Short to Whitwer. Whitwer now. He's got the footy, tries to take on Hopton. He does. Kicks. Looking for a teammate. The ball goes over the back. Laverty can't quite gather. Slippery ball. Norton goes in to help Laverty. Dean Cunning comes out with the footy, but he's gang tackled by 2 Nuriootpa players, and we'll have a ball up just outside the forward 50 for South Gawler. Now we've got Sunshine Teagues.
That was good movement down the wing for the Lions. They won't be unhappy with that.
Bentley, geez, he's good. He's just the ball, isn't he?
He is. He is a genuine stoppage master. He moves beautifully through the ruck setup.
Absolutely. His running patterns are really good. Gurkey now gets the stoppage and is won by that. Tackled. Burton can't get his foot to the ball. Press goes in to gather the footy. The ball gets spilt free and the ball goes out. And there's a free kick to South Gawler. And it will be Press who's got the footy here, right on the outer wing. He kicks long. Bit of a native breeze. Looking for Jackson Dare. He's in the right position. Barch comes sliding in and takes the mark. Now he looks up. Who's he got to have a look at? He kicks long to the goal square. He's got enough distance. The ball's marked, by Matthews. So good mark.
Great Nick Matthews. Good saving mark there. He finds a player coming out.
In a dry day, they'll be looking for a switch kick here, but given the conditions, you can't probably afford to kick a 30 or 40 in these conditions, Teagues.
Not coming out of defence.
Nah, especially with changing lanes, you don't want to be doing that. I could see that obviously Hopner had it looked here. Rosenwald was in a dry day, will hit straight away, but given the fact that the conditions are, they have to go down the line and become the contested footy. So a little bit of a change there, changing lanes in these conditions. And the lights are on and the sun's out. Have a look at this, Teagues.
Oh, beautiful day at Angaston.
Beautiful day, mate. Ball goes up for now. Ruck there. Comes out Gregurki now. Another clearance for Nuri. Doing very well on that count.
Cutting attack the footy. Couldn't quite take it. So it'll lead to another stoppage. Tried to take it in his hands there. Should have let it come to his chest. It's just the simple things you got to do in these conditions.
Absolutely. Once again, everyone forward of centre. You can see Nuri up to set up behind the footy. Free kick given. A little bit of a sling tackle. And Gregurki now. Arnold gives him one to go on with. Lucky not to give away another 25 there, Teagues, but Gregurki now's got the footy. He's been very good for Nuri. He goes short. Oh, thought he just missed the target, but no, he finds Fennell. Fennell's on the outer side. He's been called to play on now. He's been forced to kick down the line. Probably what he didn't want to do, and out of bounds on the full. And we've seen a little bit of this with these conditions today, Teagues, and South Gawler will repel the footy, and Zabel will bring it in for South Gawler just outside their defensive 50.
Will he go down the line? Yes, he does. That's well picked up. Paddy White. Kick was smothered. And free kick going Nuri's way.
Yeah, he didn't actually get his foot to the ball. He actually kicked off his thigh. So it was a correct decision by Hudson. That's holding the ball every day of the week. So Tom Giles now kicks long down the line. Numbers are there. Arnold, the big fella, roves it like a rover, like a small midfielder, and the ball goes out of bounds. And Jenna smartly made the ball trickle over out of bounds, and we'll have another throw in front of the West End Canberra. So once again, no score added. And it's this time it's just between the 50-metre arc. So Paddy White now goes forward for South Gawler. Another forward entry for South Gawler. Matthews takes the footy. That's a really good tackle by Josh Whitmer. That's holding the ball every day of the week. Strong tackle. So
That's
Josh Whitmer.
better from South Gawler. Send the ball in, cause some chaos and a little bit of panic.
Mitch does a bit of body work on cutting early, which was really good for him. And be a ball up now. About 20 out on a 45-degree angle for South Gawler. Fennell. Gurney. Left foot. Is this 15? Play on, they'll call. 15. Good grab. Mark Dean Cutting. Probably had enough of it. Especially in these conditions.
Probably, but as an umpire, you're probably not going to start paying them that easy.
Nah, given the fact... Probably on the verge.
Oh, very close, but it's A-grade footy. You've got to expect players to do more.
Absolutely. So Dean Cutting now the first mark for South Gawler inside 50. So that's one apiece now. They're just gold to these conditions inside 50 marks, Teagues.
Yes. Leans back. He's kicked through Lee. No, just offline. So it's a wasted opportunity for the Lions as they move on to 1 goal to 8. Take to Nuri's 5-4-34 on the Burge Barossa scoreboard.
Where's this footy going, Teagues? Everyone's on the outer side wing there, mate. So Madden kicks it outside there. So there's a restrictive game style. Kick it to numbers. Get numbers there. Tackled. Bentley, that's a throw. Should have been holding the ball there, but no. Strong tackle by James Bentley there. Scott Bentley, sorry. Picked up by Pisani. He's a bit of a live wire inside there. Finds Golding.
Comes off. Just outside the 50. He slips as he kicks.
Looking
Gets
for
good distance though.
Simpson flew, couldn't grab any of the footy. And another ball up.
It's just an unpredictable kick that makes things happen.
Yep. A little bit of chaos. Richmond style. They've done it. They won 3 premierships that way. Just a little bit of chaos. It makes the defenders a little bit nervous when you put a defensive chaos ball inside there. If you've got nothing on, just give a little chaos instead of trying to be too cute. Ball's in a dispute here now. Rising wing, he takes the footy. He's trying to exit the defensive 50. He's been put down after the footy. And then Bradley Bain takes a mark in front of or behind Dearlove. So it's Bradley Bain outside South Gawler's forward 50. He kicks it long, looking for their forwards. But no, he doesn't take the mark. Giles unfortunately doesn't hold on to it, and there's a tackle inside 50 for South Gawler, and there's another ball up. Teagues.
Umpire Prentice now bowls it up. Players just diving on each other, refusing to let the ball slip out. It's desperate stuff at the moment. It's a clear tap there for the Lions, but no one able to get their 2 hands on it. It's a South player was tackled without
Pisani.
the footy and wins the free kick. That's
Pisani?
Yes, they're now forcing the free kicks that Nuri forced on their defence in the first quarter.
Absolutely.
Just knocking on that damn wall and waiting for that little crack to appear.
Absolutely.
Now Pisani will be kicking this from probably 20 metres out on a slight angle.
So Pisani. No. So there's a miss to
Just
Cutting.
offline. That's a wasted opportunity for a player of his ability.
So Cutting misses one, and now Cutting misses one, and now Pisani misses one. 1-3, 5-4, 25 points. So once again, everyone up inside. Numbers, kicks to the outer side.
And we have a genuine flood. Not one player forward of...
50 for Nuriootpa.
Pretty much, yes. Some players now heading towards the wing area.
So once again, another stoppage. Ball thrown in. There'll be another stoppage here. Randall Mertz rolls in and says, I'll have it, thanks.
Bit of me time for
Free
Randall.
kick. Oh, Hudson.
Free kick going the way of South Gawler.
Yes.
He'll be kicking from outside 50. This is not beyond him.
Press. He'll put it deep, 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 deep. Probably a good kick in the end. Gives the forwards an opportunity. Wasn't taken, but Mitch Norton made the smother, then butters up his footy, and then goes and gets it again, and there's a tackle by South Gawler inside their forward 50. So once again, the pressure's gone up inside 50. They've had 4 tackles inside 50. They're creating opportunities. Kick's been brought out by Jenner. Jenner can't guide it. Paddy White grabs all the footy.
Tackled without the footy. Will that be another free kick to South? Yes, it is.
Small just probably held on to Paddy White just a little bit too long. Paddy got rid of it smartly, felt the tackle, and Small just held on to him just probably that 1 or second too long, Teagues.
Yes, just that's what pressure does, causes that little mistake. And pretty wet underfoot where Paddy will be kicking from, as you reported earlier.
Absolutely. He'd probably get the...
His team needs this.
He'd probably back himself to a distance, just getting his right footing. Just where he is now is very boggy. And another point.
And this really... South Gawler are coming. They've had opportunities and 3 points in a row. Not what they need.
No, you turn them into goals and it becomes a 4-5. So now it's a maybe 1-4 trailing Nuriootpa 5-4. So once again, Madden sends it out to the other side wing to a congested area where there's probably 16 pairs. So 32 players. I can only count probably 3 or 4 pairs back here. And they spread and they man up, and the way they go back. So it's a clear indication from Kyle Jenner, a set play. Yeah, so there we go.
Paddy White goes to the ball. He's driven into the ground. We'll have a repeat throw in.
Another throw in. So it's been all ball ups, throw ins all day. Clean. Jenner now grabs the footy, kicks it outside. Can't quite take the mark. Hopner now gives the footy back. He kicks it. Numbers it up the ground a 1-on-1, which is good. Bentley can't quite take the footy, but he thinks the boundary line is his best friend. And the ball's been out of play, and that's just a classic Nuriootpa, isn't it? They can't win the footy out of bounds, force another throw in, set up your structure, make sure behind the footy we're set up really well, and then go again.
You want the ball up because Scott Bentley owns that.
Yeah. And another ball up here. So once again, there's just contrasting two different styles, isn't there, Teagues?
Yes.
Play on advantage. Pisani, who's getting plenty of footy, sends the ball forward, looking for Jackson Adair. Quite can't take the mark. Giles did very well there. Ball spills out to Pisani, gives the handball to Golding. Golding now spills it. The ball goes in hard. And there's another stoppage. Another ball up inside.
For the Lions. That was one handball too many.
Kim Bilney just gave me the thumbs up, so he's pretty confident that the boys can come back and win it from here. Small now takes the footy. Pisani.
But it would be unlike a Bilney to be overly confident about anything.
So free kick. Great opportunity here. So Pisani's second shot on goal, and he's been busy this second quarter. He started well, but I reckon even now he's up the ante a little bit. He's been one of the prime movers for South Gawler.
He's doing it by just putting miles on the clock. He's running.
Yeah, huge engine.
The ball finds energy, and it is finding him a lot.
Does he like it? It's gone to the left of the screen.
Ball's
slightly
tucked in. Offline, but plenty of Nuri players there. They end up rushing it for a minor score.
Free kick.
Not exactly sure what that was for.
No, another free kick. Oh, the point post. Point post is in a bit of trouble, Teagues. Tommy Giles is trying to be the carpenter.
Yes.
Might be someone up to Angaston to get out there, the ground control, and Mitch Norton, just get it forward. Nah, Paddy White there. Paddy White plays on, gives it to Whitwer. Whitwer now decided to be too cute, especially wet weather footy. Well done, Gregurki. Gregurki, Rosenberg tried to soccer it, which was great work. Ball goes forward now, but Dudsmith takes it, nearly a free kick. Unfortunately for Dearluff, no. That's a great tackle again. You can see Nuriootpa, the challenges that they give. They just tackle. Pressure is really good. Press has got a bit of time now. He goes left, tries to find Whitwer. He can't do this in this weather, boys. Gets his handball. Just kick it. Good. Hopner goes forward now, looking for... Bentley should have taken that. I'm sorry, Teagues, but
yes,
he should have taken that one, mate. I thought it was a bit of a poor effort there.
He's just not quite on today.
Now, he got that one in the goal square, but apart from that, he's got his hands to the footy probably 2 or 3 times. And now Pisani leaves the contest. Have a look at that, Teagues. Just leaves the contest, bang, running. Watt tries to follow him. So big Chris James now has got to owe it to his teammates of after that 10-minute spell on the sideline. So Dean Cutting now. Dean Cutting, Mitch takes a mark. Dean Cutting took the first one off out there.
Dean Cutting definitely had the first 2 hands on the ball.
Mitch Norman in a dry day sends it out to Watt. Watt now. Ball comes to ground. He kicks it short, looking for it. It's started off by Filkey. Filkey now is bumped as Watt puts him forward onto the ground. Tommy Giles, well done, Tommy Giles, and smothered by Goulding, and the ball is rushed.
Skill by Giles. Took the ball, controlled it with one hand. In these conditions, that is impressive.
Yeah, he's a talent, isn't he?
Definitely a player of the future.
Yeah, he spent a bit of time at Centrals, I imagine, too,
Yes.
this year. So there's Jenner very clean with the hands, one free kick, play on advantage. Well, he's had a bounce. That's encouraging.
He's had two bounces on a wet
He's
track.
got nothing to kick to. So he's just got to put it forward, and who are you going to put it to? So Henke versus Zobel. Henke versus Zobel.
And Zobel was worried about Henke's speed.
Exactly. And press now. And Hudson takes the mark in front of Matthew. So Hudson now. That's
why Hudson's in the team.
Dean Cutting now goes over the back. Mitch Norton kicks it long. Paddy White's got a paddock. There's no one with him 50 metres of him. Now they're in close. So Wilfred's the first one. Paddy tries to go inside to Pisani. Pisani's been taken down by him.
After he spilled the ball. So
he goes inside 50 now. They got to take a mark and kick a goal here, surely, somewhere. But and takes a handball, and the handball out of bounds. Through for a point. No goals kicked yet, Teagues. 5 points to South Gawler, 1-6 to Nuriootpa 5-4.
We're almost 19 minutes into the second quarter on the Ray White Craigmore time clock.
And Nuriootpa will take this, Teagues, into half-time, I feel.
Absolutely. They would be very happy with this.
So change of kicker. Bradley Hopler now, and Watts now clears it. Now the foot race is on. The two big two-milers, Brad Bain and D-Love chase it. Well done, Brad Bain. Gives the handball to Judd Smith. Judd Smith now puts South Gawler back in. Josh Whitler's got this covered. No, Jenner was very clever there. Didn't infringe the free kick. And free kick in the back. Hudson Nowick. And it goes to the way of Newman, Newman.
This is a fairly tough angle. This pocket is the dead pocket at Angaston. Distance won't be a problem. Puts it up against the wind. He's done that beautifully. That is a tricky kick in these conditions.
That's a good kick.
That is an excellent kick. That's exactly what South was screaming for. Takes a beautiful, unlikely kick from the boundary to do it. That's another goal for Ray White Craigmore, your premiership team for real estate in the northern suburbs.
Tom Giles coming off the ground in a rotation. Arnold comes into the ruck, replacing Chris James. Rotations will be aplenty in these conditions. Rolek comes onto the ground.
See the South player losing his footing in the middle of the ground. That was Whitwer trying to pick the footy up. Should have just socketed it off the deck. Double-fisted tap from South. That little toe poke is probably a little weak, a little half-hearted.
Yeah, a little bit just in there. Just what now? He's been impressive. He's been very good.
Busy.
Good mark.
That's a very good diving mark in these conditions. And that's Bentley's first mark of the day.
He goes out to the outside. Gagurki.
We spoke before the game that Gagurki could become an option up forward.
Very important kick here. Take a good kick, Teagues. You're the Angaston man.
Very good kick. Shouldn't be too bad underfoot where he is, but with a heavy bowl today, wind going across, be a really tough effort.
Here we go. Let's see what he can do, Teagues.
He's just offline, I think.
Just the third time Nuriootpa have gone inside 50 for the quarter. South Gawler 17.
But South really haven't made any inroads despite all of their
That's
dominance.
A big
That's
kick.
A massive kick.
Massive kick.
That's at least a 75-metre kick from fullback.
Hops has been very good, hasn't he?
Yes, he just sweeps beautifully.
Just a huge cumulator of the footy too, isn't he? Just keeps happening to find the footy. So we're bordering on 24 minutes. Nuriootpa will take this at half-time, 2-6 to 5-5. Only the one goal has been scored. Another clearance from Bentley, who's just a clearance king. Rolak now has a bit of toe. Kicks to the left foot hurriedly inside 50 for Nuriootpa. A little bit of chaos ball. So Nichols v White, and the boundary line beats them both, and the ball goes out of bounds. So just for a slippery day, the clean hands was very good. It was pretty evident there. So ball thrown in inside Nuriootpa's forward 50 here. Another stoppage.
Another ball up.
Another ball up inside 50. Once again, there's just numbers. What is on the move?
For Nuri
would
free really hurt South Gawler.
No, free kick, a block. So it's Arnold now. Shepherding goes out to the outer side wing, finds Judd Smith. Judd Smith has got the job on James Bentley. At this stage, Jay Bentley's got a goal to his name, which he socked off the ground in the goal square. So it's been a good battle, that one. Judd Smith goes out to the half-forward flank. A good fly there, and a good mark taken by Simpson. Simpson now left foot, probably his first touch for the quarter. Goes out to Barch. Barch
that's a beautiful fingertip mark, running back towards goal. He's got an opportunity to kick a goal here. South Gawler, they kick this, they're back, right back in the hunt.
So Barch.
We're almost 24 minutes gone in the second quarter on the Ray White Craigmore time clock as Barch comes in, leans back. Looks like he's got it.
Out of bounds on the full. Teagues. Out of bounds on the full.
That's
wow.
Really another wasted opportunity. It's a quarter of wastage for South.
Now let's see what the numbers here. Got one-on-ones back over the ground. So he kicks it long. Billy Nichols there takes the back, pushing them. Arnold Billy Nichols now, he relishes in the conditions. Give a dry day, he might have gone a Hopner in the middle there and opened it up. But he's just going to kick down the line. He's got no other option but just to kick down the line. Kicks down the line to a contested footy. We saddle up, free kick, Dear Love, has been held onto.
The siren goes to signal half-time. On the Barossa scoreboard, currently Nuriootpa 5 goal 5, 35, leading South Gawler 2 goals 6, 18. That's a tale of could have been so much better for South. That quarter they were dominant. They owned at least 75 to 80% of the play. Had shots on goal, just couldn't make it count.
No, you're spot on, Teagues. The first 3 scoring shots were points for South Gawler. They've kicked 1 goal 5 in that quarter to Nuriootpa 1 point. So given the fact that they had full control in that first 10 minutes where they had 3 of 3 scoring shots, had 3 points. Cutting missed one, Pisani missed one that he should have kicked, and then Barch late in that quarter had a shot on goal and should have been kicked and out of bounds on the full, Teague. So let's hope they look back on, think that a wasted opportunity in an hour's time.
Wasted opportunity, but at least they showed that they could control the play in that quarter.
Yeah, once again, Nuri in control of the stoppages, but South Gawler there was only 2 centre bounces in there, but once again to the left-hand side of the screen here, 19 to 5, South Gawler inside 50. So it's predominantly playing in one half of the ground in both quarters, and it's been Nuriootpa this way, and then it's been South Gawler in the front half as well.
Yes,
so
that is a little bit of wind coming into effect. But South Gawler, probably they want to score. Nuri are happy to keep the game pretty much low scoring and boring, if you like. But they want to bottle it up and just shut the game down, whereas South need to get out, need to get the ball moving, and need to hit the scoreboard.
Look, yeah, Nuri were very impressive in that first quarter, and they did what they had to do in that second quarter as well. But the first 10 or 15 minutes is going to be crucial for Nuri. If they can put scoreboard pressure and hold the ball inside their forward half, that'll be sensational. So half-time here, Nuriootpa 5-5-35 to South Gawler 2-6-18. And we're in this position 12 months ago, Teagues. Different conditions, different ground, different team.
Different conditions, different teams, very different situation. You've got two teams that are going to tactically lock the game down when they have to. We didn't have that last year with Williston. Williston were out-coached and outplayed on the day. Williston definitely outplayed on the day in the second half, but it's hard to see Nuri giving this lead up easily. But joining me in commentary now, I've got one of the BLG umpires, Mark Herman. You're fresh off doing the reserves grand final. It was a pretty competitive and tough game.
Yeah, g'day, Mike. Yeah, it was certainly very sloppy out there, and had to work a bit hard out there with the packs, but the guys played pretty well for the standard of the ground, which all in all is actually looking pretty good.
Sorry about that, just directing my co-commentator to do a refreshments run. But yes, tough game in the B grade, really interesting, and we're seeing a lot of that in this game as well. South Gawler are controlling the play in that second quarter, just couldn't kick straight.
Yeah, they look like they're just not quite ready to get their head over the ball as much as Nuri from my point of view. Probably a little bit similar in terms of probably even in the B grade. I mean, I thought we were about to have a draw in that game, so yeah, interesting to see what this next half brings in the A grade.
It's going to be tight, it's going to be tough. We're looking to see more of the same from Nuri. Kai Rosenzweig is really setting the game alight. Scott Bentley is just a clearance beast. He is second to none in terms of getting the ball movement through the stoppage. And you've got Terence Wilfred was good at times out wide. And Nuri are just playing smart footy.
Yeah, that's right, Teeks.
Got a sprint about to take place out on the middle of the ground.
We just have to get our secure cameraman just to pan across for a quick second so we can have a look at the sprint about to take place on the outside wing. He's about to just pan that across for us.
Number 17, Dave Coughlin. Number 18, Joshua Pickering.
And they're off. And we've got someone fallen at the start.
A couple of hamstrings look like they're a bit tight there after that kind of effort.
Yes.
There we go.
That's footy tripping at its finest.
Number 22, Riley King. Number 23, Jacob Vickers.
In the gates. Oh, there's the slip again. We've got an action replay going on right here. Oh, a couple of hamstrings. Yep, there we go.
Nick Thomas.
Yes, I'm not sure that that's what I'd want to be doing on this surface today.
No, certainly a few spots there that are ankle deep in mud, Mike. But also just to go forward from your opinion there around Nuri, Steve Burton really hasn't had much of an influence yet in the game, probably not getting in and around it. A few other guys, Chris James, silly, getting sent off within that first probably 10 minutes of the game.
But he has got form for that. He did it a couple of years ago against Gawler Central at Freeling in a 5-minute period where he really did cost his team momentum. He owes South Gawler now.
Yeah, look, he needs to stand up. Being effectively a significant leader of the club, he needs to show some leadership. And really, the guys have got to shut down centre half back there. Not allowed Nuri to get into that 50 because they're really working hard in that 50 for the ball. Mitch
Norton's completely outplaying Dean Cutting infield play at the moment, outmarking him, outbodying him, and reading the game better. Just playing smart.
Yeah, Dean's had a couple of leaps, but Mitch has been right on his hammer there and just can't seem to snag it. And I think we all figured that the weather conditions today was always going to equal things up a little bit. I think for South, it's a little bit out of their comfort zone playing in the wet weather like this.
A little bit, but they did play some wet weather games late in the season, one here at Angaston, another at Williamstown. So I don't think that in their minds, from speaking to them, it wasn't an issue. But out there in practice, Nuri are just better. They've got Billy Nichols, who's a midfield bull who likes to put his body over the ball. Scott Bentley's leading by example. He's just been magnificent. Rosenzweig, Henke have both been really good. Sam Schmal, one of the lesser lights at Nuri, is just playing some really good footy. You've got players who are willing to put their head over the footy and take the hit.
Yeah, all those players are definitely up and amongst it at the moment. I haven't seen all of this first half after getting changed after my game, but the South, I think a couple of the regulars there in Golding and that is trying to have a bit of a crack. Barchie's trying to work a little bit around the pack, but probably Josh Whitworth, we need to get in there a little bit more as well. Just need those blokes on ball really to get that first grab and get it out with the runner, but they don't have a lot of runners that are there to get that feed out at this point in time.
And there's been a number of occasions where the players from South have tried to take the ball out in front in their hands rather than just letting it come to their chest.
Yeah, well,
It's wet weather footy, keep it simple, take the ball on your chest, put your body behind the footy, straight line it. Those are the simple things that win your games in wet weather, and South just aren't doing it at present.
Oh, most definitely. Chest marks here are gold. Anything above your head, unless you've got a ton of grippo on there, you're just not going to get it. You might be lucky and you might get a chop of the arms, which I saw a couple through that second quarter there, but chest marks and just getting really in and behind that ball, just backing yourself in when you're going to have a tackle. If you put your head over the ball, I guarantee you from an umpire's point of view, you will get a free. They're going to be making sure that people that are going the ball are going to be the ones that are going to pick up those frees.
Yeah, that's right, and we need to see some of the leaders from South Gawler stand up. Steve Burton may not be a captain, but he is definitely a leader and he's elite. He needs to have an impact on this game in the second half. Flynn Pisani is doing all he can, but he can't do it on his own.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got another shower coming through here now, Teeks, and that's really not going to add to wherever this is going as a game. I think, if anything, maybe right now they're probably being given a fairly strong direction in the South change rooms.
I'd say they would be, and in Nuri's change rooms, I think that they are going to be pretty happy with where they're at. It's going to be a simple message: just keep doing what you're doing, do the basics well, back each other, tackle hard, and just keep knocking the ball forward, which is what Nuri are doing. They're playing smart wet weather footy.
Yeah, great point, Mike. That knocking the ball forward part, sometimes you don't actually want to take the possession. You just want to keep shuffling it forward bit by bit by bit.
The reason we've got so many repeat ball ups today is it takes that extra fraction of time to pick the ball up off the deck in these conditions, and with the pressure that teams are applying, you cannot do that.
Just a slight distraction here, folks, while we assess the water condition as we have another bit of a rain shower and
a little bit of leakage coming through between the marquees at the moment. We've had all sorts happening during the day. It's been entertaining, but we are going to endeavour to bring you the best product possible.
Then you probably should ask me to leave.
No, you're doing well, sir. But we are here to promote the league and to give coverage to our sponsors like Ray White, Craigmore, who have been fantastic all season. Joey Cirillo's been one of our biggest supporters. He's really got behind the product. He's a happy man today. He coached the under-15s to victory for Williston, and then the under-17s got up as well. He's in heaven today. You could almost get a house at a good price from him today.
It's a very good point. I did bump into Joey, and he's very proudly walking around with his medallion. Gave him a good gentleman's cuddle, and he's rather happy right now. Obviously, we've got some other sponsors floating around at the moment as well. With thanks to Belgravia Apparel, Burge, the Injury Hub, Gawler Caravan Park,
Star Bus as well, who put on the free buses to the grand final today. That's a great venture by the league to try and stop people drink driving, keep people safe on the roads, look after each other. It's a great message. The league are doing well to put that out there. Central Districts are another one of our sponsors. The Injury Hub. We've got a lot of people involved, a lot of people that we like to thank on a regular basis, but in particular Ray White, Craigmore are the guys that have gotten behind us big time this year, so I want to mention them because they've been brilliant for us.
I guess from an umpire's point of view, we have our grand final dinner and presentation this evening, and we're heading to the Vine Inn, so there's a little plug for the Vine Inn this evening. Michael, I've asked you to come along and be my +1 this evening, so...
Yes, I'll come along and have a few laughs with the umpires tonight. It's good to catch up with the umpires, see them as human for a change.
Yeah, it's debatable, but we are apparently human.
there's a lot of debatable things, but definitely it's always a good night. The Umpires Association are very strong on and off the field here in the BLG. They're a professional unit, they run well, and they are an example to a lot of other leagues around the state.
Yeah, on that, Tex, our coach Mark Miles was giving us a few stats on Wednesday night at the presentation, and something like 38 umpires this year have been used just in field umpiring alone, which is quite amazing. And you know, when it comes to selecting umpires in the finals and stuff, we dropped down to 11. So
as we see the umpires walking out in step now, the boundary umpires and the field umpires, they're doing very well.
yeah, the team out there are probably somewhat reluctant to head back out, obviously due to the rain, but obviously South are back out here as well, looking forward to probably putting their best foot forward now. Chappie's again probably had a fair talk to them. He'll be asking a lot of those leaders that we've spoken about, Burton,
Paddy
Pisani.
White's got to stand up. He's had a fair bit of the footy, but he's got to be better with the ball. He's got to make better decisions, and he really needs to make an impact on this contest.
Yeah, what about Pressy? I really haven't seen a great deal. He's been around the ball a little bit, but I think this is just not really his thing, is it, these conditions?
No, not ideally, but he needs to find a way to impact the game. Not by getting 30 touches, not by getting out in the open and running, but by laying tackles, laying shepherds, allowing his teammates to excel.
Yeah, good point. And again, like I'm looking over there now at Paddy White. The man's been running hard. He is the man, and he is the moment. He likes to get in amongst it and try and have a real hair-dot crack. I think if he can find a bit of space and push forward, and compared to having to pretty much manage that entire half back line, I think that could really work well for South.
I think that's a really good point. He has spent a bit of time going forward late in games throughout 2022. This could be a really interesting option for him to go forward and create some havoc.
Yeah, so we welcome Nuri obviously back out to the ground now. They'll be pretty in high hopes at this point in time, looking to see if they can capitalise. We've already got their score 35-18, so they'll be using the breeze in this quarter, and they used it pretty effectively in that first quarter, so we'll have to see where they go with that.
Yes, most of the scoring has been to the left of screen, to the town end here at Angaston. And speaking of the umpires today, the field umpires, Randall Murch making his A-grade grand final debut. Really good to see for an up-and-coming umpire.
Yeah, absolutely. Randall's one of those guys that's he likes to do he likes to go about his umpiring pretty quietly, and you know, for him to get the reward and have his first A-grade this year is fantastic. He's one of those guys. He's such a cool cucumber. Probably should be because he's a boy in blue as well. So, and he's well accompanied there with Hudson.
Yes,
and,
the Golden Boys.
And Ryan.
The Golden Boys, Hudson Nowak and Ryan Prentice, who have had a great season themselves. They went away to the Zone Championships, represented the BLG beautifully, and were the two best umpires of the carnival. They umpired in the South Australia versus Western Australia country game. It's a real credit to our panel that we've got two such outstanding young umpires.
Yeah, look, and I want to give a plug to, obviously this afternoon in the A-grade, we've got two girls, and Nikita and Erin McCrosty. You know, they're younger. They've got their sister as well that was doing the B-grade and the boundary. You know, the fact that we've got such diversity and the girls are really pushing so hard, you know, it's a real credit to where we're going. We want cultural and gender diversity in our association, and we welcome anyone. And
those girls have been fantastic all year running the boundary. I do notice the boundary umpires and the work they do. It's not an easy job, and you can tell when you have good boundary umpires and when you don't. This year we've been blessed to have those girls running around. They do a great job. They're very professional, and they're a great representatives for the league.
Yeah, well, having done boundary in my many early years ago, throwing that ball in right now, it is wet, it is slippery, and it is heavy. So, you know, any job that you're doing, getting that ball in is great. But look, Teeks, I really appreciate the time. I'm going to hand back over to Craig.
Thank you.
He's itching for his seat. I've kept it nice and warm, and wish you guys the best call in the second half.
Okay, thank you, and we'll talk to you later this evening.
Okay, cheers.
That was Mark Herman, one of the senior umpires, well, very senior umpires in the Barossa Light Gawler umpires panel.
boys. Teagues, welcome back. Well, just in the bar, just getting a beer and just peeking to the legend out here and premiership coach at South Gawler and Angaston, Malcolm McGrath. And he wasn't too impressed with South Gawler's discipline in that first quarter, giving away 3 out of 5 goals.
Unfortunately, wasn't a premiership coach at Angaston, but came close.
Oh, sorry, mate. I thought he.
Thanks for rubbing that in.
Oh, sorry, mate. I apologise. I thought he was. But given the fact that Chris James has gone into the ruck, he was thinking maybe this goes down to south of... he suggested that maybe their chances are gone, which they're a quality team. I said, no, Mo, it's only 3 goals. But given the fact there's some heavy rain at half-time, the conditions are going to be very, very slippery. And we've got a very important 10 or 15 minutes now, Teagues.
Yes, this is what... As the umpire bowls up now, James got the tap, and big tackle there from Scott Bentley immediately. He's going to own this quarter as the captain of the Tigers.
So free kick to South Gawler.
Gregurki tried to take the ball and run.
Yeah, James free kick. Furnell got him high. In comes Dean Cutting now. Dean Cutting just outside 50. Very quiet first half of Dean Cutting standards. He goes deep looking for Hudson. Brody Hudson, and good mark by Madden, defensive mark.
But Madden's first real touch of the game.
So Madden exits deep outside Nuriootpa's defensive 50, goes out looking for Furnell. Furnell couldn't take the grab. Nuriootpa box it forward. Paddy White's sitting there, gets his foot just to the ball, looking for Josh Whitworth. Josh Whitworth takes a mark.
Good juggling mark. Probably just outside of range.
And Jenner, probably too cute for that kick in these conditions.
Not the best of kicks.
And Cole Jenner, the experienced Cole Jenner, takes the ball. The coach of Nuriootpa, Furnell handled. Barch all pushes him in the back or in the side, the umpire deemed. Furnell knew that Barch had him for pace. The only reaction that he had to do is just give him a push in the side. Still ball in dispute inside South Gawler's 50. And a ball up will be called there. So South Gawler showing the initiative early, going inside 50 for the first time. Umpire Prentice throws the ball up. The ball was in dispute again.
Neither
as it is
impacted
Furnell.
the contest.
Absolutely.
See Pisani trying to break out. That's a flying shot on goal.
And Madden takes a defensive mark for his second defensive mark.
He's playing that goalkeeping role back there. So he heads down that defensive side once again.
Numbers all south here. Whitworth now.
Whitworth with a beautiful pickup in the conditions. Goes back to White. White drives it back forward again.
Hudson handballs off to Whitworth. Whitworth now drives South Gawler inside 50 once again. Madden makes the spoil this time. Simpson gathers, tries it into Barch. Barch kicks over to Mitch Norton, not Mitch Robertson. Aaron King, if you're listening out there, who told me at half time I must have called Mitch Norton Mitch Robertson.
No, I don't recall that. Aaron King, you're wrong.
So he texted me.
And after last night, Aaron King probably can't remember what's going on today.
Got the 3 votes, did he?
It was quite a performer. And I'd like to give the Exchange a little plug because they were great hosts last night.
Yeah, of course. Oh, here we go. The foot race is on, Teagues. They're off.
It's
a 1,000-metre sprint at Flemington. Here we go. Winks. Henke now just needed to keep his feet there. The ball, Smith now panics with the footy. Fallon's right on top of him. Smith tries a little bit of soccer, and that is the wet conditions. And the ball goes forward. No one forward to centre, and then it was a foot race, and they're off in the straight.
Yes.
6 furlongs at Flemington, Teagues.
Oh, I don't think that any horse would want to run on this track at Flemington.
So Nuriootpa's first entry inside 50 for the quarter. They need to hit the scoreboard and put some scoreboard pressure, and they may get that, and they may get it because there's a free kick to Nuriootpa, and that free kick will go to Gregurki. I've pronounced his name right all day. Thank you very much. Bit of revision there, Teagues, and Andy Marnie, who texts through that it's 33 degrees today at Port Hedland, and he's watching the live stream. So well done, Andy.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks for watching, Andy, and thanks for rubbing in the weather.
So Gregurki now, just in front of the Angaston scoreboard. He lines up for goal. We'll see what the result is, and the result is a point. So they go to 5-6-36 to South Gawler 2-6-18. 18 points is the difference, Teagues.
And to Andy, I just want to let you know that it is a scorching 10.6 degrees here at Angaston. Feels like 2.8.
So Whitwer now palms it out to Dean Cutting. Dean Hunting get his hands to the footy but can't complete the mark. Burton on top there. Gagurki retracts the footy out of the stoppage situation somehow. Goes the ball, the full market handball. Zabel to White. Now here's a little bit of run. Now Benson now kicks the ball forward. Wilfred's there now. Wilfred can't pick up the footy. Zabel can. Gives it to Barch. Well done. Got these hands to the footy there.
Kicked the ball with the bottom of his boot.
Rosenwig now. Rosenwig, a little bit too high. Not.
Rosenzweig, actually.
What,
I'll pull you, since everyone else is pulling you up on pronunciations, it's Rosenzweig.
Rosenzweig. There you go. Everyone knows that I can't pronounce names correctly. So there you go. Another stoppie. Well done, Chris James. Hopner, the ball spilled out in the tackle. White's got the footy, gives it off to Laverty. Very clever. Just an inside take there. First there is Fallon. Fallon can't take it. Smith grabs hold of it. Henke didn't have the footy and quietly called by Hudson Nowak. So once again, Smith just sort of grab panic stations.
Yes.
You're in that situation. To Hopner. And you can't allow him a shot from inside 50.
His kick, this is, even with a heavy ball, this is well within Hapner's range. It's whether he's got good footing underneath his foot as he kicks. But I'd back him to kick this one.
Interesting to note as he lines up for goal. Just remember that South Gawler kicked the first 3 points of the quarter last time. And he makes no mistake.
Big blow for the Tigers. They've just landed a kick, almost a knockout punch. And that's another goal for Ray White Craigmore, your premiership team for real estate in the northern suburbs.
It was a crucial goal. Obviously, Gurkey missed the first one. Interesting to speak that South Gawler had the first inside 50 entries of the quarter, looking quite dangerous, and then it's probably the last 5 or 6 minutes been all the ascendancy to Nuri inside 50 and holding their ground inside 50. So we're bathed in sunshine now. We've had 4 seasons at this ground today, Teagues. So it's Ryan v. James, and Hopner, he's been very good today.
Yes, he's definitely the most important player on the ground for either team at the moment.
He's been outstanding, Teagues. Just his ability, but his cleanness with the footy has been very good.
He's got presence and just he knows when to go and when to take his time.
So Schmidt now kicks it out to the outer side wing. Wasn't taken by Cole Jenner, unfortunately. He fumbles the mark. He's over the footy and could have gone either way there, but once again, another ball up. We had 12 repeat ball ups, more than 2 ball ups in a row last quarter, so tight, contested game. Great.
That's a beautiful tap.
Hopner again, once again.
That's a long entry.
That is touch. Let's play on. Get in play, Fallon. He picks up the footy. What can he do here? He snaps the footy. The ball's stuck in the mud as it always does. Oh, and Paddy White sees it through for a point. So South Gawler now need 5 goals to win the game of footy.
Yes.
They go 25 points up. Zobel, uncharacteristic slap of the bar. White now goes out to Burton.
Burton, that's a good mark. He needs to provide something for the Lions in this half of footy. He's a male medalist. He needs to stand up.
And Jenner.
That was too easy.
The
South players did not impact that contest.
That's a great kick.
That is.
Out to Watt. Watt can't sort of gather it. He touches it, and the ball is out of bounds. Not last percentage.
Just that important touch.
Bit of the Nuri crowd are getting a bit excited to the left of us here, Teagues. Yes. But mind you, when you're 25 points up, you can do.
Absolutely. 25 points is almost like 50 points in these conditions.
Oh, absolutely, Teagues, absolutely. So White now, he exits from the 50, and he was pushed as he was.
So
correct call.
Kick.
It was late. Probably a good call.
Very good call from the umpire.
Probably didn't need to push him. Simpson now. kicks it inside forward 50, and a good mark by, not completed by Jenner, but
No.
could have been a free kick. And
So
his presence across half back in this quarter, especially Teagues, has been outstanding.
not necessarily getting his hands on the ball, but just being in the right place at the right time and allowing his teammates to back themselves in.
Absolutely.
His voice would be so important out there.
Once again, another
listening
stoppage.
to Mitch Norton speak at the grand final lunch yesterday, he spoke glowingly about Jenner's ability
Dear
to
love,
impact
you
the
didn't
game
have to
with his
do that.
voice.
Dear love, you didn't have to do that. That's twice now he's given one free kick away, and he held on to Bradley Bain far too long then. Didn't have to do it. So Press goes inside 50 looking for a free kick. Oh, Dean Cunning takes a fly. Couldn't quite take it.
Needs to hang on to something. And there's a free kick given away.
Yeah,
Really lost his cool there.
free kick. Dean Cunning wasn't happy with that call. So once again, another free
Norton
kick.
hits Rosenzweig. Rosenzweig comes down the line,
Not completed,
well
Mark.
spoiled.
White was very good there. Josh Whitwer started the quarter well. He's been a bit quiet throughout the game. He just needs to get a little bit more. A little bit ferocious in there in front of the coaches' boxes, and Ryan Prentice says, I'll have it, and throws the ball in.
Both teams just probing at the moment. Neither team able to really stamp their authority on this quarter.
The funny thing is, Teagues, that point that obviously it takes 25 points. South have got to kick 5 goals to win the game of footy, and they've only kicked 2-6 to this point in time. So, and given the fact that the style that Nuriootpa play, they'll just love that.
They will. They can park the bus almost. Just set up defensively, soak up the pressure. Rush behinds won't trouble Nuri. And another free kick. This way going to Press.
Yeah, last possession, Teagues. He hit it out of the ruck, straight out of bounds.
That's
Jenner
a
gets
beautiful
a huge
spoil
fist.
from Jenner.
Barch, well done, Watt. Jeez, he's been good.
You say what?
What? Oh, get rid of it, big fella. Gerke now to,
Well done.
oh, James Bentley once again. That he's presented well, but he just hasn't held on to those crucial marks, Teagues.
Not a good day for marking forwards.
But he's been in positions to take them.
Yes.
Like, they haven't been hard. I mean, in these conditions, they are hard, and there's no doubt. But, geez, if he would have a day out if he grabbed everything that he touched today.
Absolutely. That's a hat kick from South. Players under the ball.
What again? See,
Another big
couple of
kick
key
from Hagner.
ingredients here. The ball's been flicked on. Here's a little bit of chaos ball now. Henke picks the ball up. He hasn't got it.
He did release the ball as soon as he was tackled, though.
So once again, they're gone inside 50. Ball goes out to the other side. We haven't seen much action over our side today, Teagues.
No, they've really not
and
looked
a
after
great
us at
smother
all.
by Mitchie Norton. I've got that right again. Kingy, thank you very much. Aaron King, the new under-17 coach at Gawler Centrals.
Yes, that's a good appointment. It's good to be the king, apparently.
3 votes yesterday at the function, apparently, Aaron King.
And probably 5 later.
So the Bulls, once again, South Gawler won it, and playing in front is up there. There's our man. There's the middle. There's the best on. I will
At
say
this
it now.
stage, he is leading it clearly.
Length of the straight, wink style, Teagues. He kicks the ball inside 50, a little bit of chaos ball. Good gather by Zobel. Gets it over to Bennison. Bennison then just kicks it forward, and Mitch Norton, who can actually put this right deep inside 50,
Lost
and
his
he
footing
finds
as he kicked,
Gregurki.
and it's worked. Everything is coming up Tigers at the moment. That ball had no right to find a teammate. Norton, the only player who can take a clean overhead mark all day, and goes to unload, slips over, ball hits a teammate on the chest. When things are going your way, they're going your way.
Imagine if he got onto it, Teagues.
Wow, that would have nearly been his second goal from similar position.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. So Gregurki, no, it didn't get quite hold of it. And Bentley!
He's held one. He saw Mitch Norton take an overhead mark and
He's
he's gone,
marked,
I
no.
can do that.
He's paid the mark.
He saw what Mitchy Norton did in the middle of the ground and gone, oh, that looked easy. I can do that.
Oh, here we go. Can he kick it, Deeds?
I think he can. He's very good with the ball. Has good feel by boot.
Not this time. Oh, Fallon takes it. 6-8, 44 to South Gawler, 2-6-18.
On the Birds Barossa scoreboard.
Yes, 26 points. Going to take a huge effort for South Gawler to get back from here, I feel, Teagues.
It is
Press now, kicks it outside.
Can they
50.
do it 2 years in a row?
Yeah, contrasting different styles.
Into the third quarter on the Ray White Craigmore time clock.
Yep.
And South now with a bit of forward pressure. Race on here. Two Nuri players collide. Picked up beautifully there by Pisani. He kicks it around the corner into space. That's a good soccer. Couldn't keep his feet. That's got to be very close to holding the ball. Umpire Prentice had to think about that.
Yeah, I didn't quite see it myself, Teagues, but another tackle. So, you know, once again, we talk about opportunities. Nuri have kicked 1 goal 4 in this quarter. So, you know, let's hope it's not wasted opportunity. I mean, they lead comfortably by 27 points, which is a match-winning lead at the moment. But you would have thought, you know, 1 or 2 of those goals could have made it 8 goals. 2 would have made it very hard.
This game could be over if they'd kicked straight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that could have been a free kick and given.
And it has been given. Umpire was in perfect position. It's the South player who went to ground, but he's going to line up. It should not be too bad underfoot where he's kicking from.
No. Probably the best part of the ground too, Teagues, I imagine. When I was out there before the game surveying the ground.
I'm disappointed you didn't sprint more.
No sprinting, mate, here. Done and dusted.
The agility was really disappointing.
So Brodie Hudson now. Oh, not noted for his goal kicking. And he
Not
has
noted for his scoring on that occasion.
and he's put it out of bounds on the full. So the talented young Tommy Giles brings the ball back in for Nuriootpa.
South. Oh, that's smothered.
By Simpson. Simpson now. And the ball's
It's a
out.
really good tackle.
No, the ball was out beforehand. It's probably one play. Great defensive tackle inside 50 there by Simpson, but there's probably one player. But they probably like the ball in their hands. Probably him and Cutting. We probably haven't, given the fact the conditions, they haven't had a real jump at the ball, both being left footers, and they can kick the ball 50-60. Great demonstration of that was late in the second quarter where he got it outside 50, went inside, found the target. So
Heavy tackle.
Heavy tackle by South Gawler again. That's their 4th tackle this quarter inside 50, and they've only been inside 55 times. So very good.
That ball out into the clear
So Bradley,
air.
he's trying to, and it's out of bounds now. So Dear Love and Bradley Bain are going at it again. There's no love lost there all day.
No.
Teagues?
Definitely not getting along.
No, they're both having a crack at each other, which is good to see. Dean Cunning gets his kick, that gets smothered. He's going to be hot in the thing now. Bentley
That's a
now
really
gets tackled
strong
by
tackle.
Golding, and Golding forces him over the line, and we'll have a throw in front of the new establishment here at Angaston.
The Panther Palace.
Absolutely, what a great initiative that is. Once again, the ball's thrown in. Great throw in. Bart Ryan gets his hand. Small can't take the footy. The ball's still in dispute there. James just knocks it on. White gives it off to Filkey. Filkey can't quite get his kick. Bain gets really tackled by Rosenweig. Did I say that right, Teagues?
Not even close.
Right. I'll keep trying there, mate. Or maybe I'll just leave it over to you every time. And then I'll save the embarrassment this way, mate.
Rosenzweig. He probably would have played some games against his father, Marty.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the nicest blokes in the Nuriootpa Footy Club, like got a lot of time for Marty. Great footballer, great bloke off the ground, on the ground. Go in line with Chris Hardy and Brett Littlemore. Two fantastic. Matt Gerlach, all that era that they had, won all those premierships.
Great players, but also really good football people.
Absolutely.
They're all heavily involved in their footy club, and they are giving back to this current generation beautifully.
So inside 50, Nuri go. And they're in good hands when you got those boys involved. So
Yes.
Judd Smith now. Judd Smith's got a defensive mark. Intercept goes out to the other side. Here's our man.
And he's within range.
Ooh. You've called it, Teagues.
He's going to have a shot at this.
Oh, no, he's not. He passes off. Who's he
He's
found?
robbed us.
Giles. Giles now plays on. He wanted to hurry up and kick it. And he does. And puts it to the left of the goals.
Haytner should have had a shot.
Yeah, Giles, he played a lot of centre-half forward in his junior footy, hasn't he,
Yes.
Teagues? And he's gone back this year.
Most of this year he's played forward. It's only the last game that he went back.
Andy back there too is like his intercept marking and his abilities.
As we are now almost 21 minutes into the third quarter, the premiership quarter they often call it here. So Nuri just doing what they have to do, just soaking up the time, soaking up the pressure,
Push, free
letting
kick.
South Gawler keep banging their head against the wall.
What they don't want to do here in Nuriootpa is leak a goal in red, like we like to call it, red zone. Red zone is very crucial to not
South
leaking scores.
looking for somewhere to go here. Players working hard, leading hard, but their teammate hasn't even got the ball in his hands.
So James now.
He's got to step up. He owes the team something after that first quarter.
Goes to the outer side, and that could be out of bounds on the full. No, very close. He goes inside to Pisani.
That's a good kick.
Pisani, who had an outstanding second quarter. A little bit quiet this quarter.
Sonny's got a player on over on this side.
Yeah, dry conditions, they would have gone there, I reckon, Teagues. But given the fact that, given the conditions, are not really suited. Well, here comes Bentley, comes out of a stoppage. He's been held up by Pisani, but the ball being brought back to where the free kick was paid. And it goes to Madden, who's had an outstanding third quarter down defence, taking many defensive marks and repelling South Gawler's thrust inside 50. So it's Madden now kicks long down the line, as they do at Nuri. Ball gums the ground, they get numbers. Henke's been very good. He's been very clever.
Henke's
He gets
been
a spill
really
out
good.
to Hopner. Now this is a 50-50 ball. Who do you back here, Teagues? Here we go. Inside, Paddy White over the footy. He gives
Paddy
the handball
White,
out.
I'd back Paddy White
Well done.
every time.
And one-on-one here. Who wins this one? Goes outside. It's Benison now. Benison now.
This
Benison's
next
got to
kick
go.
is really important.
And got to hold.
It's a great effort from Rosenzweig.
Thank you. You said it.
Didn't take the mark, but kept the ball in his area, dived on it, not letting it out. Took a big hit. Happy to take it because that's the kind of player he is. I think he's the best young player in the competition. I think next year he will be pushing into the top 5 in the league.
Ooh, you heard it right here.
I'm a huge, huge fan.
That's a good call, Teagues.
Pisani now to bring the ball
So
back
Pisani, Flynn Pisani.
in. Looks different with the wet hair.
He would only have to just jump it down the line, as he does. In comes Jenner.
That's a
and
good mark.
That's a great mark.
Just that poise he's shown this quarter. That experience really coming to the fore.
So as we all know, it'll be kicked down the line. That's the constructed thing. Paddy White goes up. James knocks his own teammate out of the way. There's a tackle, and Ryan Prentice has it. As everyone draws away from the stoppage. Small now. Small can't take the footy. He's tackled by Whitwer. And Ryan Prentice says, I'll have it, thank you. So Gregurki, Paddy White, that's a great duel. White, Ryan versus James. Zobel can't take the footy. He's tackled by Laverty. And we'll have another repeat ball up for the 8th time this quarter, as we do.
Whitwer
Josh
grabbed the
Whitwer-
ball, went to kick it around the corner, but there was a Nuri player right there.
This is the perception that I get. Like, if you can defend off, that's ball. So given the fact that, you know, if you can defend off, you look to kick, I think you got prior.
That should be right. But in these conditions, I think the umpires are really smart today.
Absolutely.
They're not being red hot on holding the ball.
Good take, Bart Ryan.
They're smart and
Small,
they're understanding
Small
the
can't
conditions.
take the footy. He's tackled by press, and
It's
there's no
having
forward
a feel
movement.
for the game. These three umpires have shown that they've got a feel for the game and the conditions today. They've let the players play.
Yeah, they've been very good, I must admit. And
As
there goes the
siren
three-quarter
goes,
siren.
That's three-quarter time here in the 2022 BLG Grand Final. Currently on the Birds Barossa scoreboard, Nuriootpa, the underdog for the day, leading 6-9-45 to Barossa 2-6-18. And very wet, heavy track. That could almost be a match-winning lead.
Yeah, kicking 1 goal for to and scoreless. Given the fact that South Gawler now will have to kick 5 goals to win the game of footy when they've only kicked 2-6 in these trying conditions, it's going to be huge. As all the Nuriootpa faithful head out.
Although, the one thing I will say is that the 2-6 they've kicked, they should have kicked at least 4 of those points should have been goals.
Yeah, well, Dean Cunning missed one, Pisani missed one. No ones
Barch kicked one out on the full that
Yeah.
didn't even register as
Yep,
a
late
point.
in that second half, late in that second quarter.
So they've had generated enough shots on the goal to be in the game. It's just accuracy has been an issue.
Yeah, tackles inside 50, obviously contested balls 10-12 in favour of Nuriootpa. Marks inside 50. The unfortunate part for South, they've only managed 2, whereas Nuriootpa have managed 6. Clearances are in favour of Nuriootpa, even though that probably the ruckman for South are actually getting their hands on the footy first, but Nuri have been reading it very well, especially with Hopner and Bentley. They've been outstanding. They've been actually clearance balls all day. They've been outstanding in their
They're the
cleanness.
two best players on the field.
So as you can see at 3/4 time, big crowds around the breaks.
It's real finals atmosphere out there. That's what we like to see. People just getting into it.
Who do you think from here, Teagues?
I'd back Nuri from here. The way they can have the ability to shut the game down and just absorb that pressure. We've seen them do it for 2 quarters already. And I think that with Kyle Jenner orchestrating that back line, Mitch Norton on top, as we saw Madden came into it that quarter, those 3 are able to nullify everything in the air and direct traffic back there. I think Nuri can shut this down, and they kick 1 goal, they've got the game won. So just Nuri don't need to do a lot offensively. Just keep a little bit of possession, spend some time in their forward half, eat up some clock would be good for them. But if they kick an early goal, I think it's game over. As we see the ground now bathed in sunshine, dark clouds in the distance. But the sun is really nice. The crowds are enjoying that little bit of sun while it lasts. Got kids out on the oval kicking the footy, having a great time. People everywhere enjoying their day, enjoying the food and drink, flocking to their local footy. That's what it's all about. So repeating that score on the Birds Barossa scoreboard, Nuri 6-9-45, comfortably leading South Gawler 2-6-18. See, Paddy White's moved into the midfield for the Lions. They're looking to find a spark. They're looking for him to do something to reinvigorate their hopes. Welcome back, Craig.
Thank you, Teagues. Yep.
That's-
Had to be called for, old son.
Yes, and Pat White back into the centre for the
Yep.
start of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, trying to get some drive here. Nichols now puts the ball inside into that spot that's not very, very boggy. Ball goes forward for Nuriootpa. Dare to say you can't give South Gawler an opportunity. Let's put it that way. So Jenner now, who controls that, is tackled by Brodie Hudson, and a good mark by Hopner, who's been absolutely outstanding
Has
today.
been magnificent and just takes his time knowing that every second he eats off the clock is good for his team.
We probably called his name about 30 times today, and I'm hoping I've pronounced that right too, Teagues.
You've actually been okay with that one. I'll almost give you a pass mark
Thank you, Teagues. Love your work.
on one name out of 44.
Yes. It's always a challenge for me, mate. As a lot of people call it the crab talk. Paul Bover was a classic at it. The great man. As Prentice throws the ball up inside Nuriootpa's 50. Deep inside Nuriootpa's 50. They're fighting for the footy. Once again, a congested ball up, and away we go. We only had 9 congested balls up last time. I reckon the last quarter and the third quarter was all between the 50-metre arcs. And,
That's right.
So once again, another ball feels free. Kick is done. And has he kicked it? No.
Just offline.
Just offline.
That would have been a real dagger.
That would have been the nail.
I think that would have been game over.
Nail in the coffin.
Correct.
Teagues?
The large lady would have been squeezing through the gates.
So the kick out from now. So just looking at Gawler's forward line, it's got Barch, Hudson cutting. They're
Good run
clear
through the
now. They're
middle.
trying to kick it. Unfortunately, not to the provision. Budson now dives over the footage. He's tackled by Madden. And Jackson Dare just quite going through the centre of the ground and didn't have the traction. So ball
a
goes
good
up.
forward
Jenner
tap.
now gets the kick. He's been pressured by Dean Cunning. Here's your mate Wilfred. Wilfred now takes the footy. He takes a cheeky little bounce and holds the footy in his left hand. A little bit of cheeky there.
He's a lefty.
And then Jackson Dare now takes the footy. Now he transfers play out to Press.
Press
This is
has
much
actually
better
got
play from
space
South
for a
Gawler.
change.
He's got Whitwer short. He goes for the longer one in Hudson. Hudson doesn't take the footy. Gives the handball. Watt then creams it. Good footy here. Scott Bentley goes out to the other side. The ball's too low. Last possession. And it goes out. So probably expected a little bit better from Scotty there.
Dudley Judd Smith to bring it back in.
Yep. Kick down the line. Paddy takes the mark.
Paddy White,
Looking
third
for a
in
quick,
line.
looking for a quick handball. Nothing coming. Goes to the outer side, the fat side. Barch is on the lead here. Tom Giles and
It's
a
a
good mark
very
by
good
Barch.
mark. Similar spot to where he had a shot in the first half and missed everything.
South's only third mark inside 50, and Barch has had 2 of them. So Barch opposed to Giles. Barch goes up, has a look,
He's got that.
and he's kicked that.
That's the first goal of the fourth quarter, and another goal for Ray White Craigmore, your premiership team for real estate in the northern suburbs. But if you're looking for a house, Joey Cirillo will sell you a house anywhere you want one.
Which gives South Gawler a little sniff.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, Teague. So,
I like this move of Pat White into the middle.
yeah, good move. Notable ball winner. Good tap, Arnold. Can't take it. Whitwer there. Another
Tried
ball up.
to burrow his way through a tackle. Well stopped by Bentley.
So Arnold versus Fennell. Bentley can't quite. Ball goes forward. There's a +1. They've got to try to get hold of that. And Jackson Dare kicks the ball out of bounds. Last possession.
That was sloppy.
So once again, Jackson Dare's taken the mark there. He must be the +1. He must be the +1 behind the footy. There goes. And a mark is taken by Gregurki there. My bag is saved as the wind picked up, Teagues.
You almost dived for that. I was almost impressed.
Yes. Like when they snick 'em, mate, I take 'em in the gloves or something when I'm keeping. Reflexes of a cat.
I've heard a lot of things about your cricket, but that's not one of them.
Thank you, Teague. So Nuri to go inside.
That's
Forward
a
50.
beautiful crumb. Good handball back. Oh, it's a goal-saving tackle there. Now South driving the ball back.
Free kick now.
Hudson was being held. He's got a chance to propel it forward now. That's a terrible little kick. Misses the target.
Corralled, well
now.
corralled. And, yeah.
Good defensive pressure there by Rosenzweig. Forced that error.
And defensive 50 comes out. Kick long to a contest. Wait for the next one to come down. There's Josh Whitworth.
Backed into that tackle. Well taken. But Rosenzweig, that was just brilliant. That pressure, while he didn't lay a hand on the South player, he forced that error.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone over the footy. Hopner, tried to kick off the ground. Jock Wheeler. That was a good tackle.
Well picked up there. Kicked on
Golding.
the outside of the boot.
Should have used the left foot.
Mitch Norton wrapped up.
And we'll thrown in.
Poleaxed.
It was like a rugby tackle.
That was, I was thinking gridiron.
That was ultimate rugby style. That was, wasn't it? Ultimate rugby style. So Nuri up to 6:10.46. South Gawler 3:6.24. Can South Gawler pull the miracle? So Hankey very good at the stoppage. Gets his kick now. Bentley's 1v4.
That's a
Judd
good,
Smith.
good re-entry. Oh, and Dean Cutting juggled. Couldn't quite take it.
Probably a free. Just didn't quite take
Had several bites of it. Bounced off his chest. It's a good tap.
So South have got two numbers behind the footy here.
Brodie Hudson really starting to have an impact in the ruck now.
Yeah. Dear Love gave it Nichols. What? But the thing is, when they go forward, Nuri, it's 1v4. And they got a +1. Oh, that's a good leap.
That was a
Nichols.
good leap, but to no effect. That's got to be a free kick. I'm confused. I thought that would have been for below the knees.
Yeah.
Not sure what he received a free kick for. Was it too high? I think that was a mistake. Probably the first mistake we've called for the day.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got an opportunity to kick a goal here. We're going for his second.
Press now. Free kick.
Leans back. That's very good. He likes it. Everyone likes it. The Nuri crowd don't like it, but that's another goal for South Gawler, and their
point.
hopes are alive.
Point. I don't know what the goal umpire's doing up here. He called a goal. This bloke called a point. And, yeah, it was a point.
I thought it was a goal, so I apologise to everyone. But that's another golden opportunity gone begging for the Lions. The goal there really would have made it interesting.
Jeez, he's been clean. And just kick. Here's the race. The race has got to be on.
Who have we got?
We've got Bentley v 2-on-1. And unfortunately, as he exits, it was very close. He shows composure.
Very close to falling over the hurdle.
That was good. That was good. Zobel goes inside.
Gutsy.
Mark there. Benison transfer play to the other side. Looking for Whitworth. Whitworth traps the footy very well. Kicks it long to Cutting. Cutting and Barch. Barch has got a paddock. And the entry goes inside 50. And
Last touch out of play.
last possession here.
So Nuri get to exit their 50 just as quick.
They do. So Madden. But Barch had a paddock. Fallon now can't take the... He's tackled and he's been brought to ground, and we have another ball up.
But that was another example of we're trying to kick the ball precisely while running through the soft part of the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably
Just needed to kick the ball in the area.
just an adapting to conditions. I think Nuri have done that, and you can see that in the first quarter, kicking 5 goals to 1. And probably 3 out of the 5 goals come from discipline,
Yes.
which might go at the end of the day, may prove costly. But still plenty of footy left, Teagues. It's a strange old game, and we saw a strange old game 12 months ago.
We did, but we're seeing something very different today. This is a Nuri team that showed up to play. They've been disciplined from the start. They have earned everything at this stage.
And that's driven probably from a background from Kyle Jenner from Centrals and Roy Laird and now Paul Thomas. And, yeah, you can just see that.
But a lot of these players played under Scott Lee, so they had that grounding already before Jenner came to the club. That ethos, that Central District ethos has been there for a long time.
Yeah, I think Henry Slattery would have been the... he did a fantastic job with the club as well. So another ball up on the outer side wing there. As the ball on the half forward flank for Nuriootpa. You just feel now another stoppage, a repeat stoppage.
Over 12 minutes into the fourth quarter on the Ray White Craigmore time clock. Time ticking away for the Lions.
Another smother. Just doing all the defensive acts right, aren't they? The 1%ers, as they like to call them, but the defensive acts, keeping them inside 50, the pressure.
It's all they have to do now.
That's a huge punch by White. Great gather by Zobel. Kicks it out to Burton. Mitch Norton now can't take the footy, pushes Barch out the way. Ball goes forward now. Here's a little ball. Filkey now versus Madden. Which way would this go? Madden's trying to force it over, and it's the boundary umpire says, I'll throw it in, thanks. Deep inside South Gawler's right in front of
Just
the...
around from the point post. This is danger territory. That's a really good deep throw. Comes to space. Well cleared there for Nuri. South Gawler player takes a mark. He'll send the ball straight back in.
As he does to the point of the square, 20 out. Whoa, Rosewood nearly takes a mark. Barch can't take it. He's tackled, handballed. Dean Cutting tries to extract it from nowhere. Gregurki now. And it'll be another ball up. 25, 30 metres out directly in front of goal for
And
South
third man
Gawler.
up there. That was Jaden Gurney flying late.
Plenty of numbers around the footy. I know Nuri, but when they go forward from here, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 South Gawler. So they can't just extract it out of defence and then kick it blindly to one of them. So slowly, just be very careful when they jack it forward. So there's 1, 2, 3.
Now James Bentley dropping back. Just looking to match a couple of those players up.
So there's just huge numbers around the footy, Teagues. You can just see there, James Bentley's trying to...
It's like an Auskick game.
He's just trying to... Bentley, James is telling their 1v3 here in the exit. Nuri got 1 or 2 or 3.
Oh, that's a big call.
That is a big call.
He tried to barge through. He got caught. It's great work. Beautiful defensive play for the Tigers.
So all he does now is just hold up play, Cole Jenner. They get numbers to the other
Smart.
side of the ground.
We're 15 minutes into the fourth quarter here in the 2022 Grand Final. Nuri look like they're on their way to premiership glory.
Just looking back here with that stoppage there, Teagues, the instructional voice coming from James Bentley to his playing group to set up. he's 1 on 3, but he tried to get that separation and try to get Dear Love to come this way and get in between the 2 on 1. There's just these instructional voices, and often you know when you're at a spectator, you're watching the footy at the contest, but away from the contest,
Yes.
30 or 40 out.
I noticed that as well, and that's something that we haven't seen South doing today.
Yeah,
It's been very much an individual show for South. The players doing it on their own. They're not helping each other out with voice.
yeah. I just think distinctively South's game is that offensive game, changing lanes and doing all that, and
And that's holding the ball.
these
That's
conditions probably haven't
really
suited
good
that.
tackle there for Nuri. Looking to move the ball from half back. They'll go down the line to a stoppage.
Here's Jenner now. He'll control. I tell you, I haven't seen coaching in another association. You don't get to see, but I've been very impressed with a couple of players for Nuri. Henke. So obviously Aaron King's listening to our thought. That's holding the ball every day of the week. Thanks for coming.
It's just good tackling. They're
And once
disciplined.
again, Cole Jenner.
They don't give away stupid free kicks. Their tackles are good. They haven't slipped a high tackle all day.
So the ball goes out. Cole Jenner.
If we were to compile a list of our best 10 players, they would all be Nuri players at the moment. And that's really telling.
Yeah, I think Pisani's been South. His second quarter was phenomenal.
Yes.
Paddy White's tried hard all day. Barcher's had his moments. Yeah, just their key players. Whitworth's tried hard.
The match winners haven't been there.
No.
Press has had some of the ball, but not a lot. Burton has barely been sighted.
They've just been very clinical and very disciplined, and just that contested footy, they wanted it more. Noting that Dean Cutting has been held goalless, and another clearance from Scotty Bentley, and the ball gets trickled out of bounds.
Yes, Cutting has been absolutely destroyed by Mitch Norton.
You can see Madden now, he's got him, but Morton's that +1 behind the footy now. Jenner's got Zobel. They're just well structured. Witnessing for the first time, they're just well structured behind the footy. Yeah, it's good. Here's Bentley. Absolute machine out of a stoppage. Watt, who's been very good. And down the ground.
Yes. So we'll see another goal for the Tigers here. This will be
No, James Bentley's got the ball now. Held onto him too long. And James Bentley will have the footy now.
He's got a chance to really rub some salt into the wounds for South.
Yeah, absolutely. Put the icing on the
Take
cake
your
now.
time, just relax. He's kicking in some really terrible turf.
Yep, he is, but he won't miss there.
No, puts it through, no mistake. That's almost all she wrote. South Gawler, the dream of back-to-back, gone. Nuri, the unexpected premiers. Not many people, including me, did not give Nuri a chance at the start of this final series. Did not give them a chance a week ago. We were wrong.
Yeah, well, given the fact I spoke to a couple of people at South Gawler, and the intel tells me that the two games at Angaston here, they just got over the line to Angaston in the wet, and then in Barossa they did struggle at Barossa. So conditions were going to favour the more contested balls of Nuri, and as it's turned out, that's exactly how it's turned out, I feel. So Press now picks up the ball from the centre. He's been trying all day. Hands out to Golding
That's
now.
a good
Golding on the
kick.
wing. just goes to show how hard it is to go back to back in this competition, Teagues.
It is. This competition does not stand still. Just because you were good enough to win it last year does not mean teams will not overtake you.
7-10 to 3-7. Pisani goes back to Madden, who's taken another defensive mark in the back half. It was like watching Brisbane bomb it all day last night against Geelong, and Stewart and all they were just taking mark after mark after mark.
That was a really good leap at the ball. Attempted to mark it with his face. Didn't quite get it. So ball up.
As we've bathed in sunshine now, Teagues, and the ball goes out of bounds.
I was almost warm for a moment there.
The old South Gawler hierarchy under the tent there. The big mural was painted at South Gawler during the week.
Yes, it's always hard after losing a grand final to what do you do? Do you have a wake? Do you cry about it? Do you celebrate a season where you really did a lot of good things?
Absolutely. But right now tackles the footy, goes to ground, and another ball up on the other side wing. Yeah. So many shining lights for Nuri. Pisani now kicks the footy. Probably not 15, play on. Grigurki can't quite take the footy. The handball is out to Golding. Golding can't find his target. And Gurney, Newman runs over the footy. Laverty goes in hard, and there's ball up just outside the forward 50 for South Gawler.
That's another real example of Laverty was willing to go to ground, dive on the ball, whereas the South Gawler player bent over at the waist trying to pick it up with hands.
Dearlove congested takes it out of the ruck forward now. Takes it, Fallon now. Shamar, throw.
Threw it up to himself almost.
Almost. Young Jacob Smicky, one of the young guns at South Gawler, goes out to Gurney. Gurney now. He takes the footy just outside 50, looks inside, looking for Jackson Dare. Jackson Dare can't quite take the footy. Very well done. Grigurki goes out to Todd Giles. Todd Giles can't get it, and the ball is forced out. There's a collision there between Whitwer and Nichols, and away we go. Watching the live stream, we've got a tip here, race 7 showmanship. So
don't tell everyone, we don't want the odds to drop.
No, that's right. But
Troy Benny, hello, we're watching from Dutton Bay.
Did it win, Troy Benny, or are you just giving that tip, mate?
That tip's just coming through now, so hopefully it does win. As I see Crab now reaching for his phone, looking like he's about to invest.
I know investing, mate. I've got to keep my mind on the job here. This has been a huge win for the Nuriootpa Footy Club.
This is a magnificent win for the Nuri Footy Club. They were beaten in the reserves. That's a tough pill for them to swallow, but they've come out. Their A grade have just been magnificent today.
Aaron King listening in as always, as he does. Great call, boys. Swans are on tonight, and Hopner for the BLG medal. And Aaron King will know all about that because he won it back in way back in 2001. The great man.
That's a long time ago.
That's when we were pups, mate. That was 21 years ago. So well done. Thank you everyone for listening. It's been a great game of footy. The underdog has actually saluted here. And we hate to mention it, Teagues, but as I said, speaking to Malcolm McGrath, half-time of the footy here, as 3 out of the 5 goals in the first quarter come from undisciplined acts, and that would be something that they'll probably have to look back on.
South were never in the game from that moment on.
Yeah, so I think...
moving the ball forward now, the Lions.
Tony Valonga, the at Cafe Nova sent through a message. Great call today, boys. Felt that he enjoyed it, so obviously he's been listening.
They make magnificent pizzas
And
at Cafe Nova.
Bailey Zabel now has the last shot at goal.
That's it. Nuriootpa Premiers for 2022. Congratulations,
and Bailey
Tigers.
Zabel kicks that goal. So South Gawler go to 4-7 to Nuriootpa 7-10. As the Nuri faithful
scoreboard, as the Nuri faithful
go
stream
berserk.
onto the oval here. Great result for the Tigers. See the great Nick Matthews running to see his parents in the crowd. One of our commentary contributors. Be good to get him in here. Nick! No, he's got to go celebrate.
They've experienced it winning. Now they've experienced one losing.
So, Haytner will win the best on ground if you and I are correct, if Aaron King is correct.
Absolutely. Kyle Jenner
was good. Scott Bentley was magnificent.
Huge.
Kai Rosenzweig was critical through the second and third quarters when they needed someone to stand up. He was often the guy. Jack Henke, I thought, was electric.
Yes.
He set the tone early. He forced South Gawler to panic about him. They were worried about where he was, and that caused a lot of issues for their defence. Fernell and Ryan were good in the ruck against the three-headed monster. Not dominant, but they did their job all day. Watt was very good. Madden was good. It's hard to find a player that didn't contribute. Billy Nichols, head over the ball. Just that second quarter when the game was on the line, he put his head over the footy repeatedly.
They all played their part, Teagues, and that's the contribution of what you bring to the table. You necessarily don't have to be the most talented side, but in a day like today, I thought they were more dedicated to that contested ball than probably what South Gawler were.
They absolutely were. They refused to let this game get away from them. And I think that's probably the best way to describe it, is that they just refused to give this game away.
Yeah. Yeah, that first quarter setting up like 5 goals, 4 to 1-1. Just going through the goal scorers here, Teagues. I'll just run through them with you, mate. Is James Bentley, the only multiple goal kicker, with 2. Laverty with 1. James Bentley with 2, Laverty with 1, Hopner with 1, Bentley with 1, that's Scott Bentley, William Nichols 1, and Mitchell Norton 1. And for South Gawler, Bailey Zabel kicked that right on the siren there. Nathan Barch 1, Matt Norman 1, and Jackson Press with the first goal of the game.
Yes, I'm not sure how many people heard you. Your microphone was just cutting out a little bit there, Craig. But Nuri, there's so many superlatives that come to mind. Just blood and guts kind of effort. This is something that none of us saw coming. This is a win that they will be proud of for decades.
All right, can we have both clubs over here, please, for the presentation?
And this is, it's still a young Nuri team. This could be the start of a real dynasty.
Yeah, well coached. I mean, both sides are well coached. There's no doubt about that. I think it just come back to the yeah. So both really well coached. Kyle, Gavin Chaplin. I mean, you don't get here unless there's a reason for it, Teagues. And when the skies opened up, it was always going to suit the contested ball, winning the multiple clearance balls of Nuri. South couldn't really get their game going, their offensive game, which they're noted for, their run and carry, switching lanes. But congratulations to Nuriootpa, they're the 2022 premiers.
Yes, magnificent effort for Nuri.
Thank you, Nuri. Come over, please.
They'll celebrate long, they'll celebrate hard, and they've earned every single bit of it.
Yeah, so but in a nutshell, obviously out of the centre square, South were good. But round the ground, their stoppage work at Nuri was just outstanding. And watching it firsthand today, it was very impressive. Very impressive.
But what a captain's game from Scott Bentley. That's what you want from your leader. He led from the front, from the opening bounce. He set the tone, going through the stoppages, getting the ball out, tackling. Defensively, he was fantastic, but he really opened it up. Then Hapner came in and compounded that. Hapner became the destroyer. He tore South Gawler apart with his lethal kicking. Probably could have done even more damage, but was looking to set teammates up rather than score himself.
Yep. So in a nutshell, I'm going with Hopner best on, Kyle Jenner second, and third Henke.
It's hard to disagree with that. I probably would have slipped Scott Bentley in. But yes, definitely those three.
Yeah, probably just for having an impact, I think. Yeah, absolutely. Like, as I said, first time witnessing it here, they at the crunch, at the core face, at the heat of the battle, they were outstanding, Nuri.
As we see League President Mick Bryan about to present the Premiership medals. And there we are, Brad Hapner, best on ground, wins the Hearn medal. Well done, Aaron King, you've gotten something right. It's hard to imagine saying that.
Yeah, well deserved. There's no doubt there. He had a trio of mates probably flocking behind him.
Absolutely.
That could have easily got it.
It wouldn't have been an easy vote.
No, but given these,
Premiership medals this year. One up at the Roxby Downs.
Roxby Downs. There you go,
Roxby Downs,
Teach.
yes. There we go. You do know something. You didn't really know, but you kind of thought you knew.
I thought I saw it. And when I sort of visualised
you taught something.
I visualised something, mate. Now, it's been a pleasure calling with you, Teagues, again, mate. I hope that all the viewers and people that screened it, fantastic.
And to those people watching up in Queensland, I hope you got sunburn.
33.
Three players that missed out today: Lockie Westlake, number 1, number 8, Jordan Spinell. Well done, boys. Sorry you couldn't be here today.
Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. That'll be us signing off for season 2022. It's been a pleasure. I'd like to thank our favourite sponsor, Ray White Craigmore. They've been with us all year. They've been fantastic. They truly are the premiership team for real estate in the northern suburbs.
Number 6, Nick Madden. Number 7, Aaron Laverty. Number 9, Brad Hepner. Number 10, Jimmy Bentley. Number 11, James Gawler. Number 14, Simon Fennell. Number 17, Sammy Fallon. Number 18, Billy Nichols. Number 19, Tommy Charles. Number 22, Jack Henke. Number 23, Mitch Norton. Number 24, Bart Ryan. Number 30, James Spot. Number 34, Kai Rosenflag. Number 35, Aaron Wilfred. Number 38, Sammy Schmal. Number 45, Mason Gray. Number 51, Shane Dealer. And our captain, number 12, Scott Bentley. And the man that guided us to the victory, coach, number 21, Kyle Jenner. Alfie Jenner.
Hey! Good result. Great result.
Before I ask Kyle to have a say and present the cup, I'd like to thank you. Thank you, first of all, to the Angaston Football Club, who've done a wonderful job today under the conditions, and the Barossa Council to put the ground and everything in best order. And to all our sponsors, and finally, to all you people out there who support us each week as spectators. This game wouldn't be on without you. So thank you. And the last round presents Kyle to the Premiership Cup. Yeah, so thanks to the league for putting it on. It's a fucking great league, sorry. It's a great league, the Barossa. You do a fantastic job, so thank you to you guys. To Gavin and South, you've got so much admiration. You've been the standard the last 2 years. Love the way you go about it. You don't rely on one single person. You're a team. You do it really well. Things just happen to go our way today, and no doubt you'll get figuring back next year. So well done to you guys. To the Nuri Footy Club, to I guess the committee and the supporters and the sponsors. Never experienced driving down the street. What I saw this week is amazing. What you guys do, it's just surreal the way you go about it. It's fantastic. To our boys, I'm waiting to wake up with the guys we had out through the season. To be able to produce what we produced today. I'm just so proud of you. It's an awesome effort. I just love you. Well done.
That's still on.
Yeah, I think Al summed it up pretty well. Gavin, your boys, like I said, you're really the best team all year. So condolences to you guys. BLG done a fantastic day. The weather obviously didn't turn it on, or it did for us, but yeah, thank you for a great day. Joshie Norton, the committee, everyone stood up this year, and absolutely fantastic effort. It's yeah, I can't even describe what all these guys, the trainers, everyone that volunteers there formed for this club. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, to win a flag with your brother, have all your family here. You don't get these chances too often, and it feels so surreal. So, well done, boys! Let's fucking go!
Get away.
that's the senior. Senior 7, South Gawler 31, defeated Williston 22. Senior 6, Gawler Tackle 62, defeated South Gawler 58. Senior 5, South Gawler 45, defeated Gawler Central 33. Senior 4, Angaston 38, defeated South Gawler 34.
See you later.
Senior 3,
Contested footy in these conditions. You've got to win the contested footy.
Senior 2,
Hey?
South Gawler 36.
Be good, boys.
Defeated Nuriootpa 31. And in the senior 1, South Gawler